Even though a lot of us have been through situations similar to that, it never gets old.
In a game of inches, every second counts.
You never know when the play is going to be a game-winning play. You know, so that's why you go 100% on every play.
After two epic finishes 1 week ago, two teams showed that anything can happen.
They've been fed, and that we know.
We've got 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks playing. Every single week is critical, and every team is capable. We want to be that last team standing.
And we're going to see, what happens, see how the chips lay.
Tonight, the Sacramento Mountain Lions face off against the Omaha Nighthawks in the Rumble at Rosenblatt.
It's UFL football night in Omaha. That means for Nighthawk fans, Rosenblatt Stadium, all the world is their stage tonight. A capacity crowd once again, hoping to see an encore. For last week, we had all the twists and drama that was downright Shakespearean. Jeff Garcia, 6 seconds to go to Robert Ferguson, overcoming a 13-point deficit for the win before the sellout crowd. Let's go out to Sacramento, their home opener. 20,000 there for the Mountain Lions, and another veteran QB, Culpepper, looking, unloading, 33 yards. Rod Windsor in the final seconds. They overcome a 10-point deficit to win. And tonight they are ready to rumble in Rosenblatt as the 1-1 Mountain Lions of Sacramento take on the only unbeaten team in the league, the 1-0 Omaha Nighthawks. And welcome into the UFL on HDNet. Glad that you could be with us, Kenny Rice and Paul McGuire. Looking back at these 2 games, you just wonder, what can they possibly do for an encore? And 24,000 are here tonight to find out.
Well, when you have 2 experienced quarterbacks like these 2 teams have, Culpepper and Garcia, I feel so bad for the defensive secondary because we know these guys can throw the football. There's just a ton of experience between these 2 guys, and the defenses, they've got to keep an eye on both of these guys because of their arms. They haven't lost anything. Look at Garcia, 17 years, 42,000. That part of that is Canadian stuff. But these 2 guys can light it up, and there is absolutely nothing that the defenses can show these guys that they have not seen before.
And as we heard in the pregame show, they are just relishing this moment as they look back on those drives, both Dante and Jeff. They know they are the center of attention, like 2 heavyweights, or at least with Garcia probably a cruiserweight, slugging it out tonight. But what about the rest of the team, particularly the running game? And what about that running game of Sacramento, the best in the league this year, but it's kind of missing this year?
Well, Corey Ross is the guy. He's only gotten 50 yards in 2 games. He has got to step it up. But again, you have Culpepper as a thrower. But in order for, I think, for this team to win here tonight, this guy's got to step up and play better. The offensive line has to play better and block better because he can't walk around with those numbers and expect his team to win.
And that other Nebraska Cornhusker, Amon Green, his debut last week and his numbers from game 1.
Now just remember, they didn't have any preseason game. That was his first game last week. He had almost 50 yards rushing, but look at the receiving yards. He caught 4 passes for 24 yards. In the latter part of the game, Garcia had to throw the football, so it almost takes him out of the running part of the game. But Amon Green is the real deal.
Our real deals are back on the sideline as well. Paul Crane and Ron Kruk. Let's go to Ron.
All right, thank you very much, Kenny. With Omaha head coach Jeff Jagodzinski. And, Coach, you couldn't have scripted a better ending to last week's game, scoring the go-ahead touchdown with 6 seconds left. However, what does this team need to improve on this week if you're going to beat Sacramento tonight?
Well, after the first week, you always have the best improvement to your second week. We had a lot of misalignments and assignments last week in our win, so we'll get that thing tightened up, and we did for this week's game.
Sacramento running back Corey Ross, he led the UFL in rushing last season, of course played his college ball here at Nebraska. You know he's going to be pumped up defensively. What do you need to do to stop him?
Well, what we have to do is we probably have to put a net around him because he's also Dante's great check down, and he does a lot with the ball in his hands after the catch.
Speaking of running backs, you're stacked at that position with Green, Williams, and Maurice Clarett. Last week, Clarett only played on special teams. Will he see some time on offense?
Yeah, we put him in the rotation this week. We were just giving him a little extra time to get ready, and I think you're going to see him tonight.
Okay, thanks, Coach Jags. Let's go over to the Sacramento sideline and Paul Crane. Paul?
Thank you, Ron. Here with Coach Green. Coach, big difference for your team between week 1 and week 2. What's the most important thing you need to see here in week 3?
Well, I think balance. We got to start better on defense and offense, play better up front to our offense and defensive line. Have to do a better job in the beginning of the game.
Big crowd here tonight, very noisy. What have you told your team about dealing with that?
Well, it's going to be exciting, very noisy. They're very loyal fans. That's important.
All right, good luck, Coach.
You bet.
Kenny?
Thanks, Paul. This is a perfect football night. Big crowd on hand, a little bit of a breeze, and it's going to be a frost, we understand, later on tonight. But there's the hot action here in Omaha. 24,000 come out as Jeff Wolford tees it up. He'll kick off. And receiving for Sacramento is Aaron Woods. Keep an eye on him, 5'6", a ball of fire, according to Denny Green. He said this kid can jump 40 inches straight up, can bench press 220, can run a 4.3 40, and he has been a big surprise and a big lift for this Mountain Lions team.
Well, Denny Green yesterday took an inch away from him, said he was only 5'5". So he gained an inch in one day.
He's been eating a lot of beef, getting healthy out here in the last 24 hours. The kick is on its way, and football again in Omaha. Woods at the 2. To the 20. Out close to the 25-yard line. Nice return of 23 yards for Aaron Woods to get things started. And here comes Dante Culpepper and company on the attack first. And you see the numbers for Culpepper, who put up a league record 374 yards last week in the victory over Florida.
What do they say? Just don't ever question his arm. Now, he's got some, his knees aren't all that great. His mobility has been hampered a little bit because of some injuries, but not his arm.
Klutz is the fullback. The tailback is Corey Ross. And Ross will start and find no room. And that has been the situation all season long. Leading the way is Nick Guyson, who leads the team in tackles. He makes that one for a loss. As we set the offense of the Mountain Lions, you get a good look at Corey Ross. Certainly know where the numbers last year when he led the UFL in rushing. And the receivers, Tate Biddle in the starting lineup. Windsor had the big catch last week for the touchdown. And there's a veteran front line. They have made a few adjustments along the way. On second down, Culpepper. He's keeping, he's going and running out of bounds. Moving over was Jay Moore. And we'll look at the defense of the Nighthawks. So far, a good start for them. They played well last week. As you take a look at Dusty Dvorak, who just fills so many spots up there. Big guy at number 94. Savage will play a lot as well on that front line. Cato June is there. Guyson, we've already seen one tackle. He led the team in tackles last week. Fagans and Coakley, both big games. And now it's 3rd and 7 on the opening drive for the Mountain Lions. Culpepper rifles it out complete, going to Nate Lowry, the tight end. He's going to be close to the first down. Swigert and Fagans there in the secondary.
Yeah, Culpepper hasn't forgotten a thing. If you're in trouble, you go to your big tight end. You got Lowry out there at 6'6". I mean, this is just a quick throw. There's going to be a measurement on this play, but you take a look at where the ball is right there, and the ball does not get to the first down marker. This is going to be short.
What did you say in the quarterback sneak and that big drive to keep things going? The keeper's got 1 yard and an inch. He would like a few inches here, and he's got him. It looks like Culpepper thinks so. Let's see what the measurement is.
That's that inch.
He's got a good eye, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does. A lot better than mine.
I'm telling you, Larry Upson's up here. You know, a few years from now, you might want to recruit Dante to be an official. Those were good eyes. They got it by just that inch.
But just take a look at where the ball is. Now, see the ball, but his shoulder is on the ground before he moves it, and that's what I was looking at. I was looking at the ball when his shoulder touched.
1st and 10 out to the 34. Culpepper play action. Good protection, throwing, and no. Klutz coming out of the backfield. Coakley was right up there with him.
It's one of those throws that makes a quarterback very mad because he was about your 3rd or 4th receiver, and he throws the ball to the fullback, Klutz. Look at it. He looks over. He was looking at the bench to get a play. He wasn't looking at Klutz. but you got to catch that ball, son.
Klutz might have been looking, saying, you know, they haven't thrown to me.
Yeah,
I'm just not used to seeing that ball.
Well, after that one, they probably won't be again.
On 2nd and 10 at the 34. In motion is Woods. Coming that way, but knocked down. Good defense again. Jay Moore was right there. The 6'4" end who played out of Elkhorn, Nebraska, on his way to play for the Cornhuskers at the University of Nebraska.
Watch Moore time this. Number 44. Look at this. Eye on the ball. That's just hustle by the defense. And just, you know, he knows he can't get to the quarterback. He sees him getting ready to fire, and he just waits and times it perfectly.
And a very popular Nighthawk, as you might imagine, with all the hometown, home area ties that he has. Here again, a 3rd down situation. 3rd and 10, facing the Mountain Lions. Tay Biddle at the top of the screen. Culpepper throws over the middle to Ross out of the backfield, complete, but he's going to be well short of the 1st down. Patrick Thomas right there for the tackle.
And what you're noticing with this defense of Omaha's now, they're keeping everything in front. Remember when Lowry caught the 1st down pass, they let him catch it in front of the linebackers. This time, they just don't let anybody get deep, and Culpepper had to throw the ball short.
Tom Malone will kick it away, averaging just over 41 yards a punt. Standing back is Shad Williams. Malone lifts it high and short. Williams moves up, takes it about the 18. Williams up close to the 25. Tripped up and brought down by Terrell Mays. And there is a flag on the play, a 42-yard kick. Nice return by Williams of 18 yards.
Illegal block in the back, number 50 on the return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
That was a backup linebacker, Joey LaRocque, and you know, coaches just tell you when you're on special teams, you know, when you see a guy's name, don't hit it.
Don't hit it.
Don't hit a name.
Even if you don't like it, don't hit it.
That's right.
There's the numbers for Jeff Garcia, including that perfect drive at the end to cap off what would have been a storybook night. Lone setback, Amon Green. Garcia back, feeling some pressure, moving, firing, incomplete. It was there off the hands of DeVar Darling, and Parker was there. And we take a look now at the Omaha Nighthawks on offense. Led, of course, by quarterback Jeff Garcia, Amon Green. Rendrick Taylor, the fullback, with a touchdown catch last week. The receiving core, they are good. Touchdown reception for Darling. And, of course, the winning touchdown for Robert Ferguson. And there across the line, one change being made this week as Dan Gay moves into the starting lineup at right tackle. On 2nd and 10. Flips it out quickly to Darling. Tries to shed a tackler and not able to do so. Willie Glasper, starting in place of the injured Robert Bourne at the cornerback spot, makes the tackle.
Watch Ferguson, number 89 on the outside, come back and make a block. Right there. That allowed Darling to get upfield and pick up another 4 or 5 yards. But that's just hustle by a wide receiver.
Darling, his 6th catch of the season. They pick up 7 on it. It's 3rd and 3. Mike Hass comes in the game in a slot on the right. Petzier in at tight end. Garcia again, throwing incomplete. Great coverage by Ronnie Prude. He was there as soon as the ball was hitting the hands of Darling.
Well, that is nice play when you see a corner that closes that quickly on a wide receiver. And Prude is the guy that makes this play. Watch this. Darling's going to come in. Ferguson is just, or Garcia, excuse me, is waiting till the last second. The ball was thrown perfectly, and the breakup by Ronnie Prude was perfect.
So 3 and out, and Justin Brantley will kick it away. Lifts it high. Taking it is Woods. And good coverage right there. Swigert comes down to make the tackle. We get ready for the second series of Sacramento. The United Football League on HDNet is presented by Men's Warehouse, the official men's retail clothing store of the United Football League. Men's Warehouse. By AOL Fan House. For more information on the United Football League, go to fanhouse.com. By Progressive Insurance, making it easy to shop for car insurance.
I haven't gotten my warehouse clothes yet, have you?
No, I haven't. They're in the mail, I'm sure. Number 77 there, you look at Tyler Llewellyn, all 6'6", 300 of him from Missouri. A lot of Big 12 guys on the field tonight. Welcome back to Omaha. The first possession for each team resulted in having to kick it away.
Well, you know, Danny Green was telling us that our offensive line wasn't that big. We can't move them around. You got Llewellyn is 300. Bibla is 306. Mabry is 302. Robertson is 310. And Lightbody is 325. Nothing light about that body.
Something wrong about that, isn't it? Darryl Strong moving in, going in motion on 1st and 10. Corey Ross carries and picks up some positive yards this time as he gets out, maybe picked up about 5 yards, which has been a big run for Ross so far this year on 30 carries, still less than 60 yards on the season.
And one of the things that you have to do if you really want to throw the ball downfield, you've got to run the ball a few times and run it successfully. That will hold the linebackers and the safeties along the line of scrimmage if you start running the football. They haven't been able to run the ball successfully when this is their third game.
Officially picks up 3. And it's 2nd and 7 at the 36. Movement along the line, trouble with the snap, and there's a flag. John Bible and his crew in charge tonight.
I read his book.
To make it all the way through?
No.
Free control infraction, number 92 on the defense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Goes against Willie Williams. Dvorak, he fills up a screen, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, and you know he is their best defensive player, not best defensive lineman, best defensive player.
5 on the penalty. It is now 2nd and 2. Ball out to the 41. Klutz and Ross in the backfield. And they get a first down going over the left side. That is a little more like the Corey Ross, affectionately known to Nebraska fans as Pork Chop when he played for the Huskers. That's more like it.
It is, you know, and the offensive line, they are just, I mean, blocking better. Not great, but better.
You see the numbers last year, 462 yards to lead the UFL. But what did Denny Green tell us yesterday as he come 1st and 10? Yeah, we led the league in rushing, but we had a losing season. They'll stay on the ground again. A little stumble in the backfield, but some positive yardage. One more time for Ross. Coakley coming up along with Calvin Lowry in the secondary to make the hit.
Well, right off of this, you're going to eventually see again that little fake handoff to him, and then let him go through the line of scrimmage and then pop it to Ross. Because once you fake to him and let him go through, usually the linebackers kind of let up a little bit.
3 straight rushes for Ross on 2nd and 8. Ball out to the 46. Culpepper to the air, complete over the middle, and that's Rod Windsor making the tackle, the man who caught the game-winning touchdown. Stuart Swigert comes up from the strong safety to bring him down.
They have weapons on the outside. Windsor he's got 8 catches. Biddle has 6 catches. West has 5 catches, so they can catch the football, and this guy can get it there. And then they had a blitz right up the middle. He just reads the blitz very well, Culpepper does, and it hits Windsor.
They come up on another 3rd down, 3rd and 1. Ross, 1st down. Corey Ross right up the middle. Nick Greisen comes over to stop him.
See, I like this drive now. I mean, they're just being very patient with it. He's thrown 2 passes, and they've both been short passes, Culpepper. And, you know, now you got to establish Ross.
Darryl Strong, number 82, comes back in. They use him at tight end and at wide receiver. 1st and 10 at the 44 of Nighthawk territory now. Second drive of the day for Culpepper and company. On the ground again. Bryson's not fooled by that. He's right there to meet Corey Ross and put him down in his tracks.
Bryson is the leading tackler on this football team, and he had 7 tackles last week. But watch Bryson fill in the hole. There's nobody there to block him. He delays, and then he reads the run perfectly.
And we take a look now at the defense so far for the Nighthawks in action.
Well, there's Bryson again throwing. That was Moore jumping up the defensive end and knocking the ball down. But look at the pursuit of this defense. And Bryson is in the hole before Corey Ross gets there.
Loss of 2 on that 2nd and 12. Ross 5 carries, 10 yards on this drive. Culpepper on the move. Moore comes over and just gives him a little nudge out of bounds.
Well, you know, and Moore is a guy that I watched him play last week a lot, just had my eye on him, and he is really a good player, but he's a clean player. He could have taken a shot at Culpepper going out of bounds. And it's heads-up smart football. Watch this. He comes all the way from the other side of the field, and watch number 44. He's there. Okay, you're not going anywhere.
One of the first guys getting through to force that pressure was Charles Grant, former New Orleans Saint. Just joined the team a little over a week ago, played some last week, had some big moments. Now another 3rd down. This one, 3rd and 14, ball back at midfield. Flag on the play, throw is complete to Tay Biddle. Biddle makes his first catch, and Eric Green is right there to bring him down. We'll see what the flag's all about. Jay Moore.
Didn't I just talk about him?
He's a nice guy, though.
Yeah, he is a nice guy, but he looks like he lines up offside. Look at him. When they throw the flag, he's already beyond the center. See, the center's hand is in the face of Veal. Well, Moore was already lined up offside. He was beyond the center in his lineup.
So that makes it now a 3rd and 10. Ball is at the 44, back in the Nighthawks territory. Culpepper pressure by Moore, throwing incomplete. So Moore comes right back to make up for the penalty by putting the pressure on Dante Culpepper.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've got to block this defensive line. This defensive line is at least one guy's getting through all the time. Moore is number 44. He's back on the outside on Llewellyn, and he just gets by him and nails Culpepper before he can throw the ball where he wanted to throw it.
They will punt it away. They have a great field goal kicker, but this is too far. Tom Malone will kick it. Williams waits back and waits for a fair catch and takes it right at the 10. 34 yards on that punt. Nighthawks on the field for the 2nd time on offense when we come back. Back in Omaha as the Nighthawks come on offense for the 2nd time. On that punt, there was a penalty against Omaha for blocking in the back, so it moves it half the distance to the goal line. They would have had it at the 10 on the fair catch. Now they start for their own 5-yard line.
Well, you know, that's the one thing Jagosinski said to us about, you know, we just got to eliminate mistakes, the stupid mistakes. You got, you know, the ball is already only at the 10, and then you get penalized back again. Again, you're blocking guys where you can see their name. You're trying to be funny with this thing, but you just don't hit. When you see a guy's name, you don't hit him. Pull up.
Garcia with Green in the backfield, along with Taylor, the fullback. Play action, unloading, throwing for Darling, over his head, incomplete. Right with him was Ronnie Prude.
Man, I'll tell you what, outstanding blocking on a play action pass by Amon Green, by Rendrick Taylor. Watch number 30, Amon Green, step up, watch it, boom, and just hits the defensive end. That's a good play. He and the fullback combined. That ball's a little high.
On 2nd and 10, you wonder, will we see a running play tonight from the Nighthawks? passes so far on their 4 plays. Again, sets up, throws, complete, picks up about 5 to Putzier. Jeff Putzier of Boise State, the former Denver Bronco. Zeke Moreno is there for the tackle. He leads the club in that department.
Putzier, did you see that catch? The catch? That was pretty neat. A big old mid on him. He's 6'4", 245 pounds.
Putzier, his 3rd catch of the season. It is now 3rd and 5. Omaha at their own 10. And they continue to go to the air. They'll do it once again. Garcia throws complete to Ferguson. Up to the 25, to the 30. And hanging on along the way was Kelly Malvo to get him down 23 yards on that. And Ferguson, who made the big catch, hauls this one in for the first down.
Watch Garcia wait on this. You see how nice he runs underneath. They clear out on the outside and run Ferguson underneath into the middle, and the corner didn't stay. And the perfect pass. There's just no place to go. That was Glasper. He is starting for Bourne. Number 30 is starting for 31. Bourne is out for the night. He's the starting corner usually. Couldn't keep up with Ferguson.
See the numbers for Ferguson, 1st and 10. Out to the 33, breathing room, and now they'll go on the ground for the first time, and that's Shad Williams getting the carry.
They got Amon Green in there, and he's blocking on the pass plays, and then they bring Williams in on the running play.
The first time they've run tonight. Now Green is right back. As we heard Jagodzinski tell Ron Cook earlier tonight, Maurice Clarett possibly will see some action as well. Lone setback right now is Amon Green on 2nd and 8. Quick over the middle. Putzier, who made a terrific catch earlier, can't hang on to that. And Moreno was right there. Yeah. And there's a flag.
69 on the defense.
And it's a big one against Lewis Holmes, roughing the passer.
Lewis Holmes is a defensive end. He's a rush defensive end, 6'4", 250 pounds. But where they called was that his hand hit him in the head. And I'm going to tell you, you touch the quarterback's head, you're going to get flagged. And that's an excellent call.
And a point of emphasis this year as well. You don't want it, you hit around the head area, that's what you're going to get. We saw it last week, the penalties. Omaha playing close to penalty-free last week, only 2. This is a big penalty, moves it 1st and 10 out to midfield. Garcia on the move, there's another flag. He's going to tuck it in and go sliding down around the 32-yard line. Ware moving up.
They got a holding penalty, and it may be on number 74, Cook.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
The reason I say him because he's the guy that turned around and looked at the official while Garcia still running with me. Number 74 is the left guard. They might have tackled it. That might have been the center in the middle, P.J. Alexander. But anyway, Garcia, this will make a quarterback mad. Well, at least he didn't get hit.
Move it back 10, make it 1st and 20. The ball now back in Omaha territory at their own 40.
Isn't it nice to see 2 teams where you can read the numbers?
We love these uniforms.
Yes.
And we're getting used to being in the end zone. Garcia unloading deep for Haas. He has him. Down to the 20 on the numbers of Mike Haas. And bringing him down finally was Sendejo. 39-yard hookup.
Boy, I'm going to tell you, this is a great route by Haas. Watch what he does at the end of this route. Watch, he slows down, keeps the ball behind him. The pass is short, and that's where Garcia wanted to throw it. And there was just no chance for Prude to make the play.
Malvo was there also, couldn't haul him in, and finally Sendejo does. As you look at Mike Haas making a huge catch, this is his Second one, and they've both been for big yardage. Caught one for 26 last week on 1st and 10. Momentum certainly going that way as Amon Green carries for the first time tonight and gets down close to the 15 as Zendejo comes up to make the tackle.
Wasn't that a nice cut? And we're sitting here looking at from behind the play, which I kind of like to look at it from back here. I don't want to be this far off line, but I mean, Amon Green just makes a move into the hole, and it looks like if he goes to his right, he's going to get nailed. He just slides a little bit to his left and picks up 6 yards on the play.
Makes it 2nd and 4. Green averaging just over 4 yards per carry after last week, 6 on this one. Once again to Green, fighting close to that first down around the 11-yard line, and Moreno is there, the middle linebacker, to make the tackle.
On the last play, Amon Green runs to the hole, sees he can't go right, so he kind of slides left. On this play here, he goes up into the hole, Kenny, and he knows he's going to get a shot. So watch him, what he's going to do. He's going to deliver. Watch him drop his shoulder. Bam, right here, and he takes on the linebacker. So he's prepared to do just about anything.
It's been Green on the last 2 carries, picking up 9 yards. Here it is, 3rd and 1. On the ground, Shad Williams has the first down, but there's a flag. Williams clearing on the left side, getting down inside the 10. We'll see what the flag's about.
Holding, 69 offense, 10-yard penalty.
That's Alexander.
One of the veterans, the former Tusker, who was a draft choice of this team. P.J. Alexander going against him. And we talked about last week, they had only 2 penalties all game long, did Omaha. In this game tonight, 6 penalties already against Omaha, 2 on this drive, 2 holding penalties. It's 3rd and 10, ball back to the 18 of Sacramento. They're actually resting now at the 23 of Sacramento.
Well, you know, you got 3rd down and about a half a yard is all you had.
Garcia back, sets up, throwing end zone. Well over the head and out of reach of Roy Hall. Zendejo was back there in the coverage along with Malvo.
78 offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
In the meantime, Julius Wilson with a false start and another penalty on Omaha. They have already more than tripled the number from a week ago.
All right, look at him, number 78. The play stops now. As soon as he makes that movement, it's a false start, and this play was already dead. It was over.
As the first quarter is winding down in Omaha, you see, there's the story. 7 penalties already for 48 yards against them. We'll see if they can regroup here as this drive continues for them when we start the second quarter. The crowd pumped up for this rumble at Rosenblatt. A packed house to watch Sacramento against Omaha. The United Football League on HDNet is presented by ConAgra Foods, maker of the food you love. And by Rydell. And welcome back to Omaha as we get ready to start the second quarter. That is the Omaha Zoo, a part of it. It is called the Desert Dome. The animals indigenous to the desert climate live there. You know, eventually, when they raise this grand old stadium, Rosenblatt, next year, they'll add the zoo, extend the zoo out to this area, and this will be the area where the big cats will stay, ironically. They're hoping that the mountain lions don't roam here tonight, the Omaha fans.
Well, right out on this field is where the big cats are playing tonight.
It's been a penalty-marked first quarter for Omaha. Here we go, starting the second quarter, 3rd and 15. The ball on the 28. Garcia throwing, and just off the fingertips, it was almost there for Amon Green.
But a nice, Moreno, number 57, is a linebacker that's running with him. But watch where this ball is thrown. It should have been caught. It's perfectly thrown right on the tips of his hands. That was not a hard catch. Trust me.
And Amon knows that as now Jeff Wolford comes on, attempting a 46-yard field goal. His long is 26. He's 2 for 3 on the season. Right there now, 3 for 4, a 46-yarder for Wolford. And on their second drive of the game, the Nighthawks get points on the board. Well, they were bogged down by penalties, but the big leg of Jeff Wolford puts them up 3-0. Back in Omaha, Kenny Rice, Paul McGuire, Ron Kruk, and Paul Crane. Glad that you're with us on HDNet for the United Football League, where Wolford 46-yarders made it 3-0. The home team Nighthawks as Sacramento gets ready to come back on the offense.
And this is just a perfect night. 59 degrees, really very little wind. You said a tunnel earlier, didn't you?
I think I did.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know how to spell it, but I like it.
I don't either. I just said it. There you see Aaron Woods.
Look at the guns on that guy.
I mean, this guy is only 5, maybe 5'5", maybe 5'6". He's a brute. You see the 10-play drive of Omaha and all the penalties you can throw in there. We can't talk enough about this. 2 penalties last week, 7 penalties this week. Also back is John David Washington. Washington moves up and takes it up to the 25, the 30, and gets to around the 34. The former star out of Morehouse College, Washington, making a nice return of 20 yards on that. Let's check in on the sideline and Paul Crane.
Kenny, Mountain Lion offensive line coach Art Keough spent the entire last series drilling his offensive line, trying to make adjustments designed to stop Nick Bryson and Cato June in particular. Don't be surprised if you see a motion wide receiver designed for one of those linebackers more than catching a pass.
All right, thank you, Paul. Coming into this game, Otis Amy, one of the top receivers, out with an injury. Tay Biddle is starting for him tonight. Klutz is the fullback. Ross is in there at tailback. They come on a reverse, and that's Maxwell now just into the game for the first time. Marcus Maxwell. They smell that out. They bring him down easily. It's Eric Green shooting through first, and Maxwell was just added to the roster this week when Eddie Newton, another receiver, was injured.
All right, this is the one. It's a play that they called, that the offensive coordinator calls, and then the head coach turns around and says, throw that piece of paper away. We don't want to call that one anymore, because that loses. That's one bad thing about reverses, you know, because you have to go so deep on a reverse that you give the defense time to get to you, and that time they did.
They lose 6 at 2nd and 16. Culpepper feeling the pressure. Moore was getting in. He moves out, fires on the run, complete to Corey Ross. The always sure-handed Corey Ross coming out of the backfield. He has 11 catches on the season right in front of Marlon Greenwood. That picks up a total of 9 on that. Gets some of it back to bring up 3rd and 8.
Well, they're running delayed blitzes up the middle, and this is what's confusing the offensive line of Sacramento. They're not pointing their guys out and picking out the right people. And first of all, it's a center's job, which is Mabry, to just call the offensive signals, read the blitzes.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 8. Throws it out to Tate Biddle, and he is hammered. Biddle got about 2 steps in there, and Alex Lewis said, welcome to Omaha.
Well, you know, I just love the defensive coverage on this play. Watch this here. That's Lewis, and then
Aaron Rouse comes up to finish it off.
Yeah, but Lewis is the guy that makes the stop. Just a great play by a linebacker. Force him to punt again.
And Tom Malone will kick it away. Lifts it up high. Williams backing up, calling fair catch and taking it at the 15. And that's where the Nighthawks will start once again after the 46-yard punt.
Welcome back to Omaha, where the Nighthawks have a 3-0 lead over the Sacramento Mountain Lions. There has been a change on the offensive line for Omaha. Starting center P.J. Alexander has been taken out and replaced by Donovan Raiola. There is no injury. Coach just said that they want to get Raiola some reps. Kenny and Paul, back upstairs.
All right, thanks, Ron. As you take a look at Raiola, P.J. Alexander, he had 2 holding penalties in that last drive. And again, we talk about the penalties. They have loomed large for Omaha as they were close to a first-and-goal situation. They wound up settling for a field goal from Walford. That's been the only points of this game with 12:31 to go here in the first half. And Maurice Clarett is now in the lineup for the first time on offense. We've seen him on special teams. And here he goes. Clarett carrying for the first time out of the backfield since he played the championship game for Ohio State. And listen to the crowd respond.
Maurice Clarett, I'll tell you, this guy, they said they were going to bring him in slowly. I mean, he's got great legs and he's got great instincts. You got to remember now, this guy really hasn't played for a long time, and he's just been itching to get in.
And you will never hear that kind of applause for a 7-yard gain from anyone else other than Amon Green probably on this team. Will they do it again? Yes, they are. He fights forward and gets close to a first down. Moreno there to make the tackle. Back-to-back carries for Clarett.
You know, I talked to him.
Flag.
I talked to him a couple of week before last week's game, and I said to him, you know, I asked him the question about
the play, forcing the foul, 88 on the offense, unnecessary roughness.
Going against receiver Roy Hall. The 8th penalty of Omaha tonight.
I just said to him, you know, he was drafted by Denver in the 3rd round, and he didn't make it there. And I just said, you know, are you thinking about the NFL? He said, no, I'm only thinking about playing in the CFL. And, you know, that is just a dumb thing to do, especially when the official is standing there. You can't retaliate, guys, because he always catches the second guy.
Always moves it back now to the 14, and there's Clarett with his 3rd carry, and he is wrapped up at the spot by Josh Leonard, bringing him down. You look at Leonard, all 6'3", 292 pounds, out of the University of Hawaii. Jagosinski had told us he expected to play Clarett tonight. Clarett with 3 carries, and again, a huge penalty going against Omaha to force a punting situation.
Yeah, they were in position to get a first down. But you know, the thing about Clarett is, you know, for Sacramento, there's no film on him except for college. I mean, you can't say, well, because last week all he played was special teams, so you really don't, you know, you don't know the moves that he had 5 years ago.
They'd have to get in touch with the University of Miami to get that footage, wouldn't they? When they were preparing for that game. Brantley kicks it away, and here comes Woods. And there goes Woods. 52 yards, nice kick, short return. Sacramento comes on offense when we come back.
Welcome back to the UFL on HDNet. Maurice Clarett ran with the ball for the first time since the 2003 Fiesta Bowl. Maurice, how good did that feel?
I feel real good. I feel great to be back out here with the guys. Just to get back into football.
Can we expect you to see more time on offense tonight?
I don't know. That's the coach's decision right now.
3 years ago, Maurice, did you ever imagine that you would be back on this football field?
I can never imagine something like this, but I'm enjoying it right now.
Very good. Maurice, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Okay. Kenny, Paul, back upstairs.
Thanks, Ron. Praise from his coaching staff and his teammates about Clarett and the attitude and the hard work, and nobody's question he's in shape. It's a matter of getting in football shape. And Clarett now with 3 carries and 9 yards. And you look at the last 3 possessions, that's kind of been the story this year. Empty backfield for Culpepper. It's been slow starting Mountain Lion play. Pressure is on, and he goes down. Josh Savage coming in to get his 2nd sack of the season.
I'll tell you, light body, Savage just went right around light body, right on the bottom of your screen. Look at light body goes down, Savage comes in, Culpepper can't see him, and he just gets nailed.
Bashmet also coming over to help out right at the very end. And a loss of 7 makes it 2nd and 17 back to the 38. Now Ross returns to the backfield. Culpepper looking, dumps it off short, complete up to around the 42. And again, it's Corey Ross and Bryson there to bring him down.
I said they're watching Culpepper, Kenny, and I'm going to tell you, it's hard to throw the ball when your feet are moving and you can't step into the throw. That was just all by arm strength when he threw the ball out to Ross. He is not getting as much time as he thought he was going to get. This offensive line, not only are they not blocking on the running plays, but they're not blocking on the pass plays.
3rd and 13 at their own 42. Crowd appreciating the defensive performance so far. Pressure again, steps up. Throwing complete to Ross out of the backfield, but Baspin was right in his face as Culpepper just got it away.
Well, Baspin, I mean, he just comes from the left-hand side, and I think Llewellyn is the guy, number 77, to tackle on that side that was supposed to be blocking for him, and I say supposed to be. Here it comes here. No, I'm going to tell you, he had to move inside, and they never even read it. Bibla was the guard that never picked him up.
Ivy was right there for the tackle. Here's the punt of Malone. They'll let it bounce. It comes to rest at the 16. And again, the Nighthawks will come on the attack up by 3. And welcome back to Omaha. Nighthawks are leading at 3-0 over the Sacramento Mountain Lions. Paul, this is a little bit like going to see that big blockbuster action movie that turns into more of a romantic comedy. We haven't seen that high-scoring shootout between Garcia and Culpepper. Some of it attributed to good defense, but also a lot of penalties in this game, particularly for the Nighthawks.
A lot of penalties, but the one thing we haven't seen is turnovers. So at least they're protecting the ball. They're not moving the ball very well, but they're protecting the ball. I was very surprised when Omaha on that drive had 2 holding penalties on P.J. Alexander, but they took him out of the game.
Amon Green, the lone setback on 1st and 10 from their own 17. Garcia back on the slant, complete to Ferguson for the first down. And Glasper is there to make the tackle as you look at Robert Ferguson, the former Packer, who brings it in.
I'll tell you what, you better tackle this guy. Look at Ferguson. If he just maintains his balance, he's gone. I mean, he blasted those 2 guys on the outside. He weighs 225 pounds.
Former Texas A&M star, Packer and Viking hauling that one in. 14 yards on the reception, 1st and 10. Some breathing room out to the 32 for Garcia. Green cuts back. Is met by Ta'ili Ely, bounces off him, may have gotten about another ½ yard on that before going down.
Michael tackled him, huh?
Michael tackled him, the former Duke star.
Ta'ili Ely. And that's number 51. I gave it to you the first time, and now it'll be Michael.
Ta'ili Ely and Moreno, 2 big additions to join the returning Dontarius Thomas, in what has been a solid linebacking core so far. A pickup of 6 for Green, 2nd and 4 to the 38. Nowhere to go this time for Amon. He met everyone, including Jason Parker, one of those protected players on the Redwoods on that front line. And Ta'ili Ely, who's very active. He and Moreno, they're all over the place.
You know, the thing about it is we've always known at the beginning of the season that the defenses are so much further ahead than the offenses are. Now, here's a team last week, Omaha, that they were 2 and 10 on 3rd down situations, so they really didn't do much except in that last drive.
Garcia, when he's gone to the air, he's had 4 straight completions for 84 yards. 1 and 4 on 3rd downs, throwing and getting the first down this time. And able to find his man in Andrew Brewer, the 6'3" receiver out of Northwestern, was with the Patriots briefly in a mini-camp and seldom used until now.
Well, Andrew Brewer was in the slot. He just drifts out to the outside. He knew how many yards he had to get the first down. Garcia read it and hit him.
Brewer with his first catch. And it was a nice one as he gets the conversion. 1st and 10 out to the 46. Clarett back in, getting the handoff. Oh, hit by Ta'ili Ely. May have gotten a couple of yards.
Ely, I'll tell you, he met Clarett in the hole. You know, running backs have a tendency to believe once they see that hole that they're gone. Watch this. Clarett's going to turn inside, and as soon as he does, bam.
A hard-earned yard for Clarett on that carry, bringing up a 2nd and 9. Shad Williams returns to the backfield. Jagosinski's got him a rotation going to the backfield, hasn't he, Paul?
Well, and he said he was going to rotate them. They're all in the rotation.
Play action. Throwing, sliding catch by Ferguson. Nice catch by Robert Ferguson for a first down. 2 big catches in this drive.
You know, it's just awareness of where you are, and it shows the experience. Garcia knows that Ferguson is going to be coming back to the ball and be open, and Ferguson knows how far he has to get. He just does make the first down. But again, this is awareness of the field, where you need to go to. Look at him. He's looking at the marker. I got it.
9 yards to pick up the first down, bring the ball to the 44 of the Mountain Lions. Garcia, nice protection, throwing it, completing it once again to Ferguson, and Garcia has a hot hand right now. Terrell Mays there to bring him down.
Well, and just you sit there and you look at this, and I guarantee you that Denny Green and the defensive staff are sitting there saying to the corner on the outside, hey, Will, don't go jumping this route now, because you're going to get Ferguson. You got him going inside on the slant, you got him going back outside, and all of a sudden he's going to make a little hitch and go.
Ferguson, 4 catches, 57 yards. 2nd and 1. Green back in. Amon gets the first down. Cuts back. Gets down near the 34-yard line before Andrew Sendejo, the strong safety, moves in on the tackle.
I just like it when you watch experienced runners, and Amon Green is as we know what. Watch him cut back. Just watch him cut back. He'll see the linebacker to the outside. Bam, he cuts right back into the inside and picks up a first down. I mean, that's just heads-up football.
18 yards on 5 carries for Green. Ball down to the 26. They've been this close, actually closer before, but they've been hurt by penalties. Garcia floats it, and it's intercepted. Intercepted Ronnie Prude.
This was a bad, first of all, it was a bad route by Darling. Prude played it perfectly and man-to-man coverage. And Garcia, I don't know whether he's trying to throw this thing short and away or not, but Darling never came back to the ball. Prude played the ball, looked like Prude was the guy in the pass pattern.
It did, didn't it? Prude had a step on his man.
Well, Prude got the ball rolled into the end zone, and they're going to get it on the 1-yard line.
Ronnie Prude, 2 years with the Baltimore Ravens, a former star at LSU, with the interception that stops what had been a very nice-looking drive for Omaha. The challenge has been thrown from the sideline of the Nighthawks, and the referees see it. That's that blue baggie there, the challenge, because they're wanting to see if it was a catch, I imagine, is what they're challenging here.
Now, I think what happened is he caught the ball, he went into the end zone, and then he got up again and he ran back out. And I think what they're saying is, we'll find out in a minute, but did he come out far enough and then get tackled? The ball should not be on the 1.
Well, it came from, I thought, Jagosinski.
Oh, they're challenging the interception.
Yeah, because it came from Jagosinski's side, so he's happy that they're on the 1.
I saw one up here on Denny Green's side also.
You know what? Denny Green's talking to the officials.
I'm telling
You're
you,
right,
they
Paul.
both threw a blue flag. Both coaches.
It's dueling challenges,
right,
apparently, because they're talking to Denny Green now. As you look at Prude's interception.
All right, he's got the interception, okay, because he rolls over the balls underneath. Now he gets back up. He gets back up. Here it is. He rolls into the end zone. He's got the ball. He's got the interception. Now he's back up. Nobody touches him. And he comes back out.
John Bible, the referee. And we're waiting to see here how this is going to go. The big question is, did Prude he made the interception. Where the ball is going to be spotted is the question.
See, he makes the interception right there at the 1 yard line. That's where the ball is. Now, if he's touched in the end zone, he's touched. Okay, this play is over. Now they're going to bring the ball back out to the officials got the play correct. The ball is where it's supposed to be. But I've never seen 2 blue flags come out.
Well, Green has a question about this, and Jagodzinski has a question about this.
Well, Jagodzinski's saying, did he catch the ball? Did he have control of the ball?
He wants to see if there was an interception. Green wants to bring it out to the 20, obviously, instead of the 1.
That's what he wants. But both of them are. Now, what do? You give them, take a timeout away from both of them? Because they're both wrong.
That's why we have Larry Upson up here. When he comes back, he's the director of officials. That's a great question.
I know, but Larry left.
Well, that's why. I think that's why.
Larry's terrific. Are you kidding?
Oh, he is.
But I think the officials got this thing totally right.
And a drive that was bogged down here by this great interception by Prude as he beats Darling and just picks it off.
See, Prude, the most important thing is that Prude has his arm underneath the ball. So that is the interception. Now, he hits on the 1 yard line, and he rolls it into the end zone. Momentum carries him into the end zone. So the ball is brought back to the 1, where it's supposed to be. But Darling touches him with his foot in the end zone, so he's down. He can't run it back out.
Okay, fortunately, we have John Bible to clear this up.
Go get him, John.
Play stands is called on the field. It's Sacramento's ball on the 1 yard line. Omaha is charged with a timeout.
What?
Omaha challenged the interception. Omaha challenged the interception. And obviously,
Denny challenged the spot of the ball. I mean,
I guess it's whose blue flag got out there first.
But I've never seen it, though. I mean, okay.
The challenge of the interception surprises me. It was a clear interception. And now the spot of the ball is just barely at the 1. Culpepper operating out of the end zone. That's where he's standing. Quickly loses it, falls on it, and throws it away, and that's going to be a safety. Culpepper had trouble with the handle, picked it up, and just had to get rid of it somehow in the end zone, throwing it away. He's got the safety.
Now, he had trouble because they knocked him back. I mean, the offensive line let the defense through. Watch Culpepper when he goes back. Watch this here. Bang, he goes back, and the ball slips out of his hand. The defensive line's there. He was going to throw it. Now he steps on the end line. He is down.
He's got it, and there
No, he steps right on the end line right there, and the ball comes out.
That was Dvoracek, by the way, that moved half that offensive line when he shoved the center back end to the quarterback.
And these officials are getting all the calls right.
So, an interception, and Culpepper and company operating barely at the 1 yard line after the Prude interception. And on the first play, steps out of bounds on the back line after fumbling the ball and a safety. And now Tom Malone, I believe that is Malone, that's going to come out and punt it away. That's the option they're taking.
Culpepper was going to try to stand up and throw a quick pass, and the ball just really came out of his hand. Then the defensive line pushed the offensive line back into him. He had no chance.
That was Dvoracek. As you mentioned, the best defensive player making a big play. And standing back is Ricardo Coakley. Among those, it's a short kick. Williams and Coakley both back. This is Williams out to midfield, down to the 48. 19 yards on that punt. Nice return by Williams before Ronnie Palmer brings him down. And a huge turnaround here after a short punt and a 19-yard return by Williams.
It's just hard to believe that the coverage wasn't there because the ball hung up in the air for a long period of time for Williams to get to it, and they never covered. They being Sacramento.
So let's review. Interception by Prude, good and bad. And bad in the terms that Sacramento had terrible field position at their own 1, and then they wind up taking the safety, and now good field position here as Green carries it, and Schabel moves in to make the first tackle. First time we talked about A.J. Schabel, who had a sack last week. One of the players that they protected left over from the old California Redwoods team, a former All-American out of South Dakota. Lost 3 on that play. It's 2nd and 13. Ball now back into Nighthawk territory at the 49. Quick throw. Has the completion as they pile up around the 42-yard line. And Garcia has been effective going to work here tonight, and particularly going to this man, Ferguson.
Well, they're going to Ferguson because the safeties are dropping off, and you've got Prude, number 21, man-to-man on Ferguson coming off the line of scrimmage. They can't get there fast enough.
9 yards on that. It's bringing up a 3rd and 3 when we come back to Omaha. It's 5-0 Nighthawks. A couple of home runs, a single driving in here at Rosenblatt. And a safety. No, they had a safety a minute ago. Dante Culpepper and company having to work from their own end zone after an interception. So it's now 5-0. Omaha leads. They have the ball right now at the 2-minute warning in the first half.
And if you like defensive football games, you're seeing one. This is a pretty good defensive game now.
What about that shootout between Garcia and Culpepper? There's still a half to play.
Don't give up on it yet.
Omaha's been their own worst enemy here with 66 penalty yards, 8 penalties, including 2 major holding penalties on one drive that stalled that out.
I'll tell you, how many times in pro football do you see, though, that the coach takes your center out, P.J. Alexander? He has 2 holding penalties. He put him on the bench.
Here it is on 3rd and 3. Omaha 2 for 5 and 3rd down conversions at their own 41. Pass complete. First down. Darling in the 15-10. He's gone. Touchdown. DeVard Darling. Garcia to Darling. First touchdown of the night.
I will tell you, on the outside, there was some outstanding blocking by the receivers out there, and then Sendeo misses the tackle on Darling, and he pushes him to the ground and scores a touchdown. But Darling's going to thank his other receivers because they made some good blocks on the outside.
Second touchdown of the season for Darling. Wolford, who has a field goal, tacks on the point after, and it's 12-0 Omaha with 1:51 to go here in the first half.
All right, you're going to take a look at this. Garcia throws the outside. Watch the look at the blocking. Number 84 Hopkins was one of them. I mean, and then Sendejo, number 34, misses the tackle on Darling, and that just shows strength and speed for the touchdown.
There's DeVard Darling, former Kansas City Chief and Baltimore Raven. And he's standing by with Ron.
Thanks, Kenny. DeVard Darling, nice touchdown grab. Tell us what the play was.
Well, it was just a quick receiver screen to the right. We were running it in practice all week, and it just came through. It was a perfect play.
Seems you and Jeff are really in sync right now.
Oh, yeah, man. We're just trying to get this going, man. Put points on the board and win this game.
Thanks. Kenny, ball back upstairs.
All right, points that had been missing, points that most people thought would be on the board early in this game, and the touchdown did not come until 1:51 to go here in the first half. Cade Biddle, for the first time now, stands back along with Aaron Woods, awaiting the kick of Jeff Wolford. And it's Woods at the 7. 25. 30 up forward to about the 31. Alex Lewis is there to make the tackle, a 24-yard return for Woods.
You don't see this. You don't see this very often. Where the guy jumps into the pile.
Oh, it's like I want to play too, Coach. Dante Culpepper may be pointing and waving for some offense to come out there. We've seen him start slowly. And in the first 3 quarters last week against Florida, there you see it. And then he helped generate 17 points in the 4th quarter for the comeback. Woods remains in. He's in the slot on the left side. Culpepper back. Dumps it off to Ross. 25. Spins back up to the 40-yard line, and Jay Moore's there after a nice pickup of 11 yards and a first down.
Man, do I like this call. That is an excellent call. You've got spread out the field. You got guys going deep. Everybody else went deep except for Ross, who is the offensive back, and he throws a screen to him.
Moves it up to the 42. Whips it out, gets it completed to Tate Biddle, and right in front of DeMarcus Fagans. Fagans bringing him down. Biddle, the leading receiver in terms of yardage last year in the United Football League when he was playing with the Florida Tuskers. And he leads this team in receiving yardage as well. Picks up 8, 2nd and 2. Culpepper, forced, steps up, floating it deep, and it's deflected away. Good defense by Ricardo Coakley.
Boy, this ball floated. I mean, it floated. Because Dante Culpepper waited to the last second to throw. Watch this ball float. And then Coakley might leave the ground just a little bit too soon. He did.
That pass intended for Ron Windsor. Windsor hauling in the 33-yard touchdown last week. In the come-from-behind win. Now it's 3rd down. Culpepper throws, complete. Is going to be very close to the first down. Ivy bringing down Corey Ross after the catch.
It is a first down.
And he's got the first down. When in doubt, look for Ross out of the backfield. 37 seconds to go here. And a timeout taken by Sacramento.
They still have 2 left.
You know, Paul, in talking with reading quotes and hearing from Culpepper this week about this game and all the anticipation, you're going against Garcia, obviously 7 Pro Bowls between you. So we got to play the game. That's the bottom line. We got to play the game. Simple as that. And then they said, what about the execution? Well, we just got to go out and execute. We haven't done that so well in the first game at all, and in the first half of last week's game with Florida. We got cooking, especially in the 4th quarter. That's all we got to do is execute.
This whole thing right now with Sacramento is that this offensive line, they've got to give him more time to throw the football, and they've got to block for the running game. They have not done that in the first half.
1st and 10 in Omaha territory at the 47. Culpepper pumping, throwing, has a man open, complete. Windsor, touchdown! Shades of last week. Culpepper teaming up with Windsor once again.
You know, I tell you, when you give Culpepper, Garcia, any of these quarterbacks time to throw the football, watch what happens. Dante Culpepper has all day to throw the ball, and he throws the outside. Ricardo Coakley, I don't know what he was thinking about. Why you're not deep than the deepest. You've got to be downfield. You can't sit.
And there we go back to last week. 33 yards. That was the game winner against Florida to Windsor. And tonight, 47 yards for the score. Scottia, first time we've seen him come on to kick tonight, and he puts it through. And how about that? We talked about when they're going to start scoring. We've had 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes of this first half. With 29 ticks to go, it's now 12-7 in favor of Omaha.
Well, and that's what Dante, he's talking on the sideline, but Dante's going to say it again on the offensive line. You give me time, I can throw it. I still have the arm. And that time he had plenty of time to throw the ball. He found Windsor downfield, beating Coakley. I just don't understand what Coakley was thinking about.
Let's go down to Paul Crane.
Thank you very much. Here with Ron Windsor. Well, how'd you slip behind the secondary when it's been tough going all night?
Well, it was just a stutter and go. They didn't really want to give us nothing underneath. So we hit them with a stutter and go because they were biting on everything. And it was wide open.
How important is this score just before halftime?
Oh, it's big, man. Going into halftime, getting a little motivation going into halftime. It was real big.
Congratulations, Kenny. Things have changed.
Indeed they have. Thanks, Paul. Windsor, a star at Western New Mexico State, where he was a quarterback, led the team in passing and rushing, and then went on to Star in the Arena Football League, where he was the Rookie of the Year before coming here to the UFL. Fabricio Scaccia, who had a 54-yard field goal last week, delivers this one deep and right to the goal line. Out to the 20, cuts back to around the 25 is Coakley over the 25-yard line, and Brown is there to bring him down. 26-yard return.
Well, Omaha has 2 timeouts left in the half. There's 23 seconds. So you just regroup, because that's a shocker. I mean, you got him 12-0 going into the half. All you just have to do is just play field position, and Coakley didn't do it. I mean, he knows he has help to the inside, and he just let Windsor get back to his outside.
Clarett back in the game. Maurice will get the carry, and will find the going tough as Zeke Moreno moves in to make the stop.
And they're just going to let it run out here.
That is going to be the end of the first half, where there were some penalties that hurt the Nighthawks. Waiting for the scoring to happen, and then bang, bang, 2 big plays, 2 touchdowns delivered by Garcia and Culpepper. And the rumble is certainly on here at Rosenblatt as they go to the locker room with a 12-7 lead, the Nighthawks. Let's check in again with Paul.
Thank you, Kenny. Coach Green, how important was that touchdown just before halftime for your team?
Well, it was important. I think that was the only time our line really handled them. We're just having trouble up front. Dante's made too many mistakes because he's pressing too hard, but I think it was a good drive for us. I think we'll settle down the second half, and we still have to somehow try to find some balance.
What is the biggest adjustment you need to make at halftime?
Well, I think we have to make adjustments in the secondary. I mean, we got caught in 0 coverage, all out blitz, and the cornerback's playing off. So it's mistakes like that are pretty damn ridiculous, but we'll see if we can correct them.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck second half.
You bet.
Kenny, allow me to paraphrase, if I will. Coach Green, with both teams, he thinks they are who they thought they were.
Indeed they do. Thank you, Paul. Well, they said they were going to come out here and go for it, and they are. And at halftime, Otis, my man, Otis Day, entertaining the crowd here at Rosenblatt. The action certainly picking up. It's made everyone want to shout as we go to the break at halftime. 12-7, Omaha with the lead. The United Football League on HDNet is presented by RotoHog, award-winning fantasy sports. By Cutters, no other glove performs like this. Otis is still there. I guess anytime he sees a toga, he just jumps right into action. And I will say the backup group, very impressive tonight. Not the usual Otis Day in the Knights. Otis now going out on his own, entertaining the sellout crowd here at Rosenblatt as we get ready to start the second half. Fabricio Scaccia, who had a league-tying 54-yard field goal last week, kicking off to this guy, Ronnie Coakley, and Shad Williams also back. Coakley, he of the 35-yard kickoff return to set up that last scoring drive. So 2 of the outstanding special team guys there, but this is Shad Williams gets it. Williams has had some nice returns. This one is as well as he gets it up across the 30, and there's a flag on that play as he was brought down by Sendejo, and a 29-yard return for Williams.
This was foul on the kicking team. First collar tackle. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That would be on Sendejo. You're going to see Williams. He's going to break out back to his left. And Sendejo, number 34, watch this. He gets him in. See that? Where you grab the back of the shoulder pads. You can't get your hand inside. And that's penalty. That's horse collar.
So we'll see if Omaha can take advantage of a great break here to get things started in this second half. Jeff Garcia and the guys go to work at their own 45-yard line. Garcia, nice play action disguising it, throws it out in the flat, has his completion as another flag flies. But he was on the nose to Ferguson, who has been the go-to guy not just last week, but also tonight, his 6th catch. We'll see what the flag's about.
To the play, personal foul, number 66 on the offense. Slap to the head.
That's
a
on
15-yard penalty.
Mitch Erickson.
Down counts, second down.
He's the right guard. You know, he's not complaining. But, you know, these are dumb mistakes, guys. I'm sorry, but they're dumb mistakes. You got to know where you are. Have some awareness of what's going on in the field. These officials are trying to, I'm telling you, they're trying to let you play, and you're making it difficult on them.
9th penalty against Omaha. And they were out near midfield. Now they move the ball back to around the 37. Garcia on 2nd and 17 throwing. It's knocked away. It's Ronnie Prude who had the interception in the first half coming up to make the play here.
Boy, he just jumps this route. Watch as Darling goes out. Prude just reads the quarterback, and that's just a nice play. Difficult to intercept it, but it was a nice play to knock it down. Just don't get, excuse me for a second, I was just going to say, just don't get, you know, too greedy and start cheating up on these plays, because once you do that, Garcia's going to read it, and they're gone.
We've already seen Darling take off for a 47-yard touchdown. The only TD of the night for Jeff Garcia on 3rd and 17, back at his own 37. Garcia sets, throws over the middle, and it's intercepted. Moreno takes it back to the 38-yard line. Zeke Moreno, the former USC star who played with the Chargers and the Eagles, comes up with his first interception, the 2nd of the night, and returns it back 12 yards.
Well, look at Garcia. There's 2 guys in the middle. He does not see Moreno at all coming in. He's trying to get the ball to Ferguson, number 89. Ferguson just sat in the middle, but this ball is really late getting there, and Moreno makes a great jump on the ball.
Moreno and Taili, as we were talking about, Paul, the new additions to the linebacking group, both are very active, and we see them both there together. And Garcia, no interceptions last week, 2 already tonight. Outstanding field position at the 39 of the Nighthawks. Here comes Culpepper for the first time in the second half. Rush. Pushed out of bounds by Fagans after picking up about 3. Let's check in with Paul Crane.
Thank you, Kenny. Here was Zeke Moreno, known as Zeke and Destroy at his USC days. How'd you come up with that one?
You know, it was one of those things where it was long, 3rd and long. We just lined up in our coverage instead of having to back up, and you could read the quarterback pretty easy. And I just got a good jump on the ball once I read his arm.
Coordinator Ricky Hundley challenged you guys in the first half. How much have you taken it to heart?
It's big. You know, this team relies on the defense. We know we put all the weight on our shoulders. If they don't score, they don't win. And right now we got a good job of stepping it up in the second half, and that's a great start.
Thank you. Good luck, Kenny.
2nd and 8, the pressure on, and it's Willie Williams getting the sack.
And this sack is all on Culpepper. Now watch, he's going to stand there and pump. You don't have that much time. You got to get that ball out. Once you see you only have 1 receiver out to the right-hand side, you have no one to throw the ball to, you throw that thing away. They allow you to throw it away in this league.
All you have to do is get it back to the line of scrimmage. It's not grounding.
That's right.
So now it's 3rd and 14. Ball back to the 42. Are they going to be able to capitalize on Moreno's interception? Culpepper sets up, fires it over the middle, in and out of the hands of the usual sure-handed Tay Biddle. Couldn't pull this one in.
Well, you watch, I'll tell you, Culpepper here, he'll set this up and wait. He fakes out to the right-hand side. Biddle comes across. That ball should have been caught.
And rarely will you see Tay Biddle drop a pass like that. Again, the top receiver in yardage last year in the league, and already well over 100 yards this season. And Malone comes in to kick it away. Coakley will call for a fair catch there after a 29-yard punt. Omaha's turn with the ball. And welcome back to Omaha. 12-7, Nighthawks leading it here in the 3rd quarter. on the Mountain Lions. It's been a rough start for both teams here. Jeff Garcia was intercepted. After the interception, though, the Mountain Lions could not get anything worked out. A challenge has been thrown, a challenge flag thrown. Well, and it looks like too many men on the field. This was during Malone's punt.
And let me just clear this for a second and try, if I can. Now I can try to count these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 2 in the middle, 11, 12. Too many guys on the field and too many dots on my screen.
I like that.
What, my dots?
Yeah. That was a lot of dots.
I like them too, but I like to be able to clear them.
That was a lot of dots out there. So John Bible is...
John Bible's been on the phone more than you are in a day.
He is.
There are 11 players on the receiving team. Therefore, there's no foul. Sacramento is charged with a timeout.
Well, what it really comes down to is how close was he? They're giving a little more leeway. Were you close to being out without entirely being off the field? Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
See, he was on the field.
Yeah, he's on the field. There are 12.
But are they cutting him a little bit of a break because it was clear he was getting out of the way and almost off the field?
No.
Okay.
They did, yes. No, they're not supposed to.
That's what Denny Green said.
They said, well, if the guy's on the field, he's either on the field or he's off the field. You're right, Denny. I'll tell you, when he growls, man, duck.
Hasn't this been a riveting 151 of football here in the second half? It was good to see Paul Pelosi. He stopped by and said hello to us, the owner of these Sacramento Mountain Lions, and they had a huge opening last week as well, the second largest crowd in UFL history with 20,000 there. We look forward to being in Sacramento in a couple of weeks.
Well, he's happy with these fans here, and he's also very happy with his fans in Sacramento. He said, man, is it nice now to have a home and have people identify with your team. That's what's happened here. That's what's happening in Sacramento.
So 1st and 10, it's all ironed out now. P.J. Alexander is back in at center. Garcia steps back, is firing down the sideline. He was going for Ferguson. Right over there with him is Prude. Out of bounds, and a flag is thrown again.
Roughing the passer again.
Over the head. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Roughing the passer for the second time in this game.
Now they call a blow to the head, and you'll see it here. You got your arm up in the air, and that's number 95. That's
Leonard.
And, you know, I understand you're fighting your way to the quarterback, but you know that you don't pull your hand down and hit him in the head.
So 2 times now it's been called against the Mountain Lions, and a big break again for Omaha as it moves it out to the 28 on 1st and 10. Amon Green. Over the right side, about 4 on that carry.
I said in our pregame show that you know, the team that can run the ball the best tonight will probably win the game. Now, neither one of these teams have really run the ball that great. Sacramento, they have nothing. I mean, it's almost like they don't run the ball.
We picked up as many yards going to the restroom at the break. It's 2nd and 6 out to the 32. They'll stay to Green. Cuts back, keeps moving, gets about 2 or 3 more for Amon Green.
When you take a look at Sacramento, now look at all the guys they have up in the line of scrimmage. There's 7, 8 guys along the line of scrimmage. Now just remember, on a running play, you can send as many people as you want. And I just think if Garcia, you see that many people up at the line of scrimmage, you got to audible, get out of there and get yourself into a pass play.
Green 8 yards, 23 yards tonight on 8 carries. It's 3rd and 3. Omaha, their own 35. Garcia back. Slant incomplete. Good coverage once again by Ronnie Prude. An interception, and he's broken up 2 passes. That was intended for Darling, and Darling may see Prude in his sleep tonight.
Well, that is just outstanding coverage. That's the third time we've seen Prude break up a pass tonight. I mean, he's just playing that ball extremely well. But again, be very careful, because when they're gonna break on you and go deep.
Garcia 0 for his last 4 passes. As Justin Brantley comes on to kick it to Aaron Woods. Woods will let this short one just bounce around and come to a rest around the 38-yard line. Only a 26-yard kick. Sacramento, good field position when we come back. Welcome back to Omaha, Nebraska. The Nighthawks lead the Sacramento Mountain Lions 12-7. The showdown between Garcia and Culpepper. They have met before. Of course, you'll remember that, November of 08. Tampa Bay beat Detroit, but who didn't that season? The Lions going winless, and you see the numbers on both those guys. And the only time they've ever met, these two all-pro quarterbacks, 4 times to the Pro Bowl for Garcia, 3 for Culpepper.
As starters.
As starters. Until tonight. 1st and 10 after the short kick. Ball out to the 38-yard line of Sacramento. Here comes Culpepper. Remember, they had a big finish last week, and they get something going. Corey Ross works over on the left side. Ross has carried 7 times tonight. Picks up about 4 on that.
He's working way too hard to just get 4 yards on the play. I mean, they're not sustaining their blocks at the line of scrimmage. I mean, because you got to remember, you got 4 down linemen, and they all have to have their hands on the ground. So once they do, they basically don't move.
Ross, lone setback. Garcia throwing, gets his completion to Lowry, the tight end, and Grayson is there. As we look at Nate Lowry making his second catch, the 6'6" former star for the Yale Bulldogs.
I like it when you see a big tight end like Lowry is. He's at 6'6", go down for the ball and then get whacked by 2 guys and still hold on to it.
This brings up a 3rd and 1 after that gain of 5. 3rd and 1 out to the 48-7. Ross, no, he will not get any more yardage as he tries to go over the left side, and Moore is there, and Grayson comes up.
This is what we're talking about. I mean, you got to be able to run the football. You got a yard to go with all these big linemen, and just take a look. Look at the penetration by the black shirts of Omaha. There's just no place for Ross to go. You've got to put people on the ground. You've got to get them off the line of scrimmage and open the hole. They're going to go for this thing on 4th down.
They're 3 for 9 on 3rd downs. This is their 1st attempt at 4th down, and Culpepper will keep it himself. And will he get that yard and an inch that he did last week to keep the winning drive going on a drive here early in the 3rd quarter?
I'm going to tell you something. Dante Culpepper moved the defensive line. He moved them. He got up there, and he knows it's a quarterback sneak. As big as that guy is, 6'4", 260 pounds, and a quarterback, why not?
Moves it to the 48. First and 10. Culpepper stumbles on the handoff to Ross. Ross with room to the 40. And run out right around the 37-yard line. Fagans was there for the tackle. And there, for the first time, we see Corey Ross break loose tonight. He picks up 14.
Well, look at all the black shirts are all to his left. So when Corey Ross sees that, he just moves it back to the right-hand side. There's really nobody over there. Watch everybody go right. Dante Culpepper falls down, handing him the ball, and he just gets a wide-open field back to his right side.
Corey Ross, 14 yards, his longest run of the year. So routine for him last year. The going's been tough this year. Ross gets a breather. And the ball's taken down to the 30 by John David Washington. We've seen him earlier tonight on a kick return, his 4th carry of the year with the Redwoods last year, where he had a touchdown. And staying on with the Mountain Lions. There you look at Dvorak.
That's Denzel Washington's son.
If you saw the movie Malcolm X, John David played a student in the movie.
I couldn't have played a student in any movie.
That's why we're sitting up here. 2nd and 3, down to the 30. Nice drive going so far. They'll stay on the ground with Ross back in, and he squeezes his way down to around the 28-yard line. Cato June comes in.
This is a nice drive. There was a bad punt on the way, but they're taking advantage of it by running the football.
So as you talked about, Paul, in the pregame show, what about that running game? After being stopped on 3rd and 1, that first down of Culpepper on the keeper, they've got a running game going now. Everybody seems to be rejuvenated. Culpepper on 3rd and 1 will do it again, try to it. It looks like he's made it.
You know, the interesting thing about, let me just explain something about the offensive linemen and the defensive linemen. I said there are 4 down linemen that have to have their hands on the ground. Well, you cannot cover both guards and the center at the same time. Any 2 combination, you can. 2 guards. But look at Culpepper just looks at the guy that's uncovered and goes right there with the sneak and gets the first down.
Culpepper's been there. He's done that. He can figure these rules out pretty fast. Wow, didn't he kind of redefine the position when he first came out of Central Florida? That big and strong, can run, and got that cannon of an arm. Maybe have slowed down a little bit by injury. Still got the arm. He's throwing for the end zone. Off the fingertips of Joe West. Coakley was there with him, and for the first time tonight, he was going to West, the former star out of UTEP, who played last year with California.
Now, I'm not sure that Coakley looks back, but watch what Coakley does, though, at the end of this play. Here he is. He's really not looking back, and he just kind of gets his hands up in the air. This is good coverage. He's on West on the outside. Coakley is looking. Now he really doesn't look at the ball. The ball should have been caught.
This is the 10th play of this drive. They've been running the ball well. 30 yards on the ground on this drive. Back. Culpepper guns it over the middle. Biddle has it. He's inside the 10. And Swigert holds on to bring him down. 1st and goal for the Mountain Lions.
And this, you're absolutely right. You talk about firing the football. Watch this thing come out of Culpepper's hands into Biddle. Watch this thing. Bam! It's there behind the linebackers and in front of the safety. You don't have a chance with that play.
18 yards on the pass. And you just get the feeling now they've got a groove going with Culpepper. Biddle goes out wide to the right. Klutz back in at fullback. Ross behind him. 1st and goal at the 9. Culpepper back, drawing incomplete, trying to come back to Biddle. And good coverage by Omaha.
He was only going to throw the ball to Biddle. You watch Culpepper. He steps back, and he's got one-on-one coverage on the outside, and he's going to Biddle. Watch him. He comes up. He's looking at Biddle the entire time. Never has his eyes anywhere else, and hits him right in the hands.
Fagan's right there with him, DeMarcus Fagans. And now it's 2nd and goal.
It's easy for me to say when that baby's coming in at about 180 miles an hour.
I was going to say, that's like taking a run and go and leaping out a freight train, isn't it? 2nd and goal. Culpepper wants to talk it over with Dennis Green. We'll be back from Omaha in a minute. One timeout remaining for Sacramento as they are getting ready for their 12th play of this drive, a drive that's eaten up 6 minutes of clock. It started after a short punt back at their own 38-yard line, and Dante Culpepper has been very systematic with this in the red zone this year. Sacramento is 4 for 4, 3 of those scores being on touchdowns. 4 first downs in this drive. Everything has been going well on 2nd and goal at the 9. Empty backfield. Culpepper flips it to Ross. Down to around the 2. Patrick Thomas comes up the first to greet him and stop him there.
Just look at Culpepper now. He's not really looking at Ross. That wasn't his initial receiver, but he hits him with it. I mean, he gets that ball there in such a hurry. I mean, the defense, they really don't have that much of a chance. And especially when you have a linebacker on a guy like Ross. First of all, you lose him in the crowd because he's only 5'6".
And Aaron Woods walk together. They've never seen anybody. John David Washington now in the backfield. 3rd and goal at the 2. Play action. Culpepper rolling, throwing, and it's incomplete. Klutz coming up with it, the fullback trying to make the sell, but he took it on a short hop, and it's going to be 4th and goal. And Culpepper wants to go.
Oh, yeah, you want to go. You're down by 5. But, you know, I still think you kick the field goal. Well, now we're going to see this Klutz catch it. No, the ball's on the ground. I'll tell you what, though. He really did try to sell this thing. Look at the ball is down on the ground. No question about this.
They're going to kick it instead.
Oh yeah, you got to get yourself within 2 points. If you miss this, you're still 5 out. That means you have to score a touchdown.
Scaccia will boot it. Easy for him. 3 for 3 on the season. Scaccia, a drive that brings points. It's now a 12-10 game.
Welcome back to the UFL on HDNet.
Welcome back to Omaha, where the Sacramento Mountain Lions have pulled within 2 here in the 3rd quarter. Here was Sacramento quarterback Dante Culpepper. Long drive, didn't punch it in, but what was the difference to get those points?
Well, we just executed a little better. That's all we did. We just settled down a little bit, executed. The offensive line is doing a great job of giving me some time, and the receivers are getting open. I just got to put it on them and just continue to make plays.
How tough has it been out there tonight?
Well, it's tough. You know, the defensive front, these guys got a lot of experience, and they've been in my face a lot. And, you know, that's football, and that's good football. And, you know, that's the thing. What we got to do right now is just go out, execute better, continue to execute, and come out with the victory.
Dante, thank you very much. Kenny?
Thanks, Paul. Corey Ross out of that backfield has been the biggest part of that receiving game as Scaccia kicks it off. Williams and Coakley are back, and he's going to let this one wisely let it roll out of bounds.
And they get it at the 40. You get it 30 yards from the kick. This is one of the biggest penalties in the game.
It is one of the biggest. Ron, what's happening over there on the Omaha sideline?
Hey, Kenny, in an attempt to get this offense moving, Jeff Garcia rallied his troops and said, let's go no-huddle offense. So check out that. And also, number 89, Robert Ferguson, he limped off the field. He was taken back into the locker room. The word I am hearing at this point is he's suffering from cramps. We'll see if he can come back. Back upstairs, Kenny.
Thanks, Ron. They sure want to get Ferguson back in there. He's had 6 catches for 75 yards tonight. We'll see if they go with this no-huddle. Green, the lone setback. Garcia pumping, in trouble, getting away, throwing an incomplete, trying to dump it out there to the fullback Taylor. And Scott Ware, the free safety, coming up in coverage. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And with Ferguson out, what Sacramento's doing is take a look at out here. They're playing man-to-man coverage on the corners on the outside, which is freeing up the safeties inside to cover all the middle stuff. And Garcia really doesn't have any place to throw the ball. When that's what Ferguson does when he's not in the ball game.
Garcia in a slump right now, 0 for 5 and has an interception his last 6 passes. Flips this one complete to Roy Hall. Going to be short of the first down. Kelly Malvo out of the University of Arizona. 10-year veteran of the Canadian Football League makes the tackle after a 7-yard pickup.
Garcia is just looking, and he still only has a chance to hit the short stuff because they got the safeties now can sit back and play deep in the middle, and there really is no place to throw the ball now.
3rd and 3. Remember, the drive started at the 40 because of the kickoff going out of bounds. Garcia fires it out, incomplete. Haas stretching out, could not pull that in. He made a big catch earlier tonight, but that one out of his grasp. So it is 3 and out after getting that break, Paul, of starting at their own 40.
Yeah, you know, and when you again, I'm gonna go back to the fact that when you don't have Ferguson, that means that you can now just crowd the line of scrimmage. It's harder to run the football. They did not run one running play in those 3 downs.
Brantley will kick. Woods stands back. Nice high kick. Moving up under it. And wisely letting it go over the head out of bounds was Woods. It's a 53-yard kick. And they'll start at their own 20, Sacramento. Welcome back to Omaha. Kenny Rice, Paul McGuire, Ron Kruk, and Paul Crane on the sideline. 12-10. Omaha leading Sacramento here with 3:33 to go in the third quarter. And after that punt that goes into the end zone, Dante Culpepper begins operating from his own 20. Successful drive ending in a field goal the last time. Ross shoots forward, gets about 4 yards on that before Aaron Rouse moves in for the tackle.
I look at Ross in here, but what I'm seeing that Omaha's doing is they're only playing 2 linebackers. They're playing 5 or 6 defensive backs. So they're saying, okay, we want you to run the football.
Ross picks up 4, 2nd and 6. John David Washington back in. Culpepper looks, throws to Washington. Little screen, leans forward, gets to about the 25, maybe the 26. Bassford there makes the catch, makes the hit on him.
So when you take a look at this, I'm looking at this defense now for Omaha. They got 4 down linemen, which they have to have 4 hands down on the ground. It could be a linebacker, and then they're only using 2 linebackers in the game. So what they're saying is, okay, we want you to try to go ahead and run the football against this line, which they can't do.
3rd and 4th, their own 26. Washington remains the lone setback. 4th, 4 and 11. 4 for 11 on 3rd downs. Culpepper trying to beat the odds on this one. Under pressure, sidesteps it. And will not be able to get away from Marlon Greenwood. He, the veteran of the Raiders and the Dolphins in Texas, just wraps him up.
You know, Marlon Greenwood, you talk about experienced player. He's got a choice here. Do I back off or do I just really force him? Him being Culpepper. Watch this. He says, I'm going to make a commitment. I'm going after you. Because everybody else has to say back off because he still had receivers downfield. That was a great play.
And Malone to kick. Williams standing back to receive. Williams is going to let that one roll. And it will stop right around the 30-yard line. So Malone, a 43-yard kick. And we take a look at the way things have gone for Jeff Garcia. And it hasn't been impressive.
Now, the middle guy got 23 yards, but -9, 7 yards in the last one. You know, here's a team also. They have to be able to run the football. I mean, you just can't stand in there all night long and fire the ball. And especially when you got Sacramento playing man-to-man on the corners, which frees up everybody to the inside.
Omaha with 37 rushing yards. Ahman Green. Flag goes. Maybe a couple of yards on that, which all could be a moot point as John Bible gets into action again.
Personal foul, shot block, 74 and 72 offense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, just pick the whole side of the line there. It's Cook and Foster.
Yeah, on the left-hand side of the line. You can't set up a guy and then chop him at the legs. It's on the left-hand side. Just take a look at, you see Foster's the guy. He comes in at the knees. You just can't do that. And I'm glad they're calling this penalty and paying attention more. No. Don't go complaining, Foster. You're the guy that did it. You went down at his ankles and his knees. You can't do that.
So now it is a 1st and 22, the 10th penalty tonight against the Nighthawks. 94 yards going against them and a fumble on the exchange. And Garcia is able to fall on it.
This is the exchange. Well, first of all, did Cook leave a little too soon?
I think
he's the guy that ran over Garcia.
I think he did.
The ball wasn't even snapped yet.
Well, now it is 2nd and 22. Clarett returns to the backfield for Omaha. Garcia, protection going away, and he'll just unload out of bounds. Good coverage by Sacramento secondary.
I'm going to tell you, this whole thing fell apart when Ferguson left the ball game with the cramps.
Yeah.
Because he's the one guy on the outside that they really had to respect, and they weren't playing him man-to-man on the outside. They had safety help. But now, again, I know I'm repeating myself, but when you have receivers that you can play man-to-man on, there's really no place for the quarterback to throw the ball, and you sure can't throw the ball in the middle of the field.
3rd and 19. Clock ticking down the 3rd quarter as Garcia rolls out and throws. And Puntier is able to juggle it and hold on and come down immediately by Moreno, and that is probably going to be the last play of this 3rd quarter as 4th down is approaching.
Well, the last 4 possessions for Omaha have just been dreadful. I mean, they haven't had a chance to do anything. They couldn't run the ball. Garcia can't throw the ball. They got to change a little bit of things on offense when they get to the sidelines.
Both teams came up huge in the 4th down last week. It's going to take that tonight. Omaha holding on to the lead. Back with the 4th quarter coming up. You're watching the UFL on HDNet. The United Football League on HDNet is presented by Wilson, by Custom Bites, the only off-the-shelf true custom fit mouth guard. Kenny Rice, Paul McGuire. On the sideline, Ron Kruk and Paul Crane as we start the 4th quarter. Omaha leads 12-10, and they're punting. And Malone sends it off to the side and is going to go out and give great field position to Sacramento as they start their drive here in the 4th quarter in Omaha territory. A 16-yard punt.
Remember a long time ago, a coach I had by the name of Lou Saban said to me, he said, you know, Paul, the only thing I pay you to do is punt. You can't do that. Well, this is what happened here. This is, you know, this guy, he really took his eye off the ball, and he almost missed it.
And so a short field to work for Dante Culpepper, starting at the Omaha 40. That's Woods in motion. He fakes the reverse to Woods, comes back the other way, and it is dropped by Steve Baylark. Seeing him in for the first time, the 6 foot, 260-pound, 206-pound backup from UMass.
That's one of the few times you'll see Culpepper. He actually tried to guide the ball into his hands instead of just turning around and throwing it. They had a kind of a reverse on with Woods, number 83, and he could have thrown to either one of them. I think I might have gone back the other way.
On the sideline, we understand Corey Ross shaken up. They're still checking him out. That's why Baylark was in, and John David Washington is at him now coming back into the lineup. Good protection, firing close to a first down completion to Windsor, who has a touchdown catch. They'll pick up 9 on that play. Pass happening in front of Eric Green.
Well, that time, watch Omaha. They're blitzing. They're sending guys. They got 2 double blitz on the left-hand side, and this is pretty good coverage. Windsor makes the catch. Make sure you get the ball. Tell you, if that ball should be at the line.
It'll be 3rd and 1 with the spot. Ball just shy of the 30. And again, it's Culpepper. Why not? You're that big and strong, it's almost an automatic yard. Just go right up the middle.
And you have a guy uncovered. I mean, that's just the way they played the defense, that you have to play it. You cannot cover both guards and the center all at the same time. So Culpepper, smart as he is, big as he is, he just reads it. And that's a yard. I don't care. Either team could do it.
1st and 10 down to the 29-yard line. Sacramento has never led in this game. From the shotgun, complete. Windsor goes down the sideline, forced out by Coakley around the 25.
This is a great pattern by Windsor. He didn't do anything. Watch, he's out here to the outside. Look at Dante Culpepper. There he is. He's right at the line of scrimmage. He never did move. He just sat there. Coakley didn't come up to challenge him or anything.
They pick up 4. 2nd and 6. Washington remains in the backfield. Ross still on the sideline. They're checking him out. Washington inside handoff. Looks for room. Cuts back. Nice move down to around the 15-yard line. Grayson finally brings him down. John David Washington picks up 10 on the play.
I like what Dennis Green said about Washington. You know, he's not a great player, he says, but he is very good on special teams, and when you need him in the backfield, he gives you 100%. They all give you 100%, but this guy, you know, he wants to play so badly, and when he gets a chance, he executes.
It's 1st and 10 down to the 15. Staying on the ground and picking up positive yards once again. They'll stay with Washington. Dvorak and Williams finally bring him down.
And this is where the coach tells the entire team, he said, listen, we're only down by 2. We are definitely in field goal range. Just don't do anything stupid and hold on to the football.
Pick up a 4. It's 2nd and 6. Washington 3 carries, 21 yards tonight. He remains in. The bottom of your screen, that's Windsor, already a touchdown pass. Maxwell and Biddle at the top of the screen. Culpepper throwing, end zone, tip and off the hands of Biddle, incomplete. Back there with Biddle was Lowry.
Lowry was, I'm going to tell you, this ball, if it were thrown a little bit lower, it would have been intercepted. Just take a look at this throw. It's out to the outside. It's high enough. Number 24, Eric Green, is the guy that almost got his hand on the ball.
And it's 3rd and 6. Culpepper rolling. Throwing, end zone, touchdown, Biddle. He gets it in there that time.
Boy, you want to talk about the perfect throw on the run. Dante Culpepper, watch this. This is totally a rollout to the outside. Now watch the throw. It's perfect. The coverage was sensational, really, by the defensive back. But Biddle just makes the play. That's Lowry, number 37. He was there, but the ball was thrown perfectly.
Biddle with his first touchdown catch of the season. And Sacramento has the lead for the first time. Scaccia puts it through, and it's 17-12 Mountain Lions. Dante Culpepper, a beautiful drive and a touchdown pass to give his team the lead.
11:28 to go in the game here in Omaha, and Sacramento has taken its first lead as wide receiver Tay Biddle got his first touchdown catch of the year. How did it come about?
Hey, we just kept playing, kept fighting, and kept calling the routes. We executed. Dante put the ball there perfect. I just went and got it.
How nice was it to get a second opportunity right away after that one previous play went off your hands?
Hey, it felt good to know that they got the confidence to come back to me. And, you know, I made sure I was going to catch the ball this time. Kept my eye on it and just pulled it in.
All right, congratulations, Kenny. Sacramento has the lead.
All right, Paul, thanks. Biddle, former star at Ole Miss. He was a football player and a track star there. And they're very high on him last year in Florida. Got away from them and wound up here now in Sacramento. And they'll let that one bounce into the end zone and start at the 20-yard line. And they have to get something going right now. It's been a rough go for Jeff Garcia and company. Ron Clark on the sideline informing us that Robert Ferguson should be returning to the lineup shortly. We'll keep an eye on that. He's been out the last 2 series. He is out there now, and that certainly has hurt them. They haven't been able to get anything going right now.
Yeah, what you need to do is get Ferguson back to the outside, so where he's going to get. They have to double cover him, and that will open up everything else.
The last 5 drives, Omaha has come up with 1 first down. It seems possible, doesn't it? Clarett is in. He'll catch it out of the backfield. Get about 5 yards or so, being stacked up and brought down. And Taili was the first to get in there on Clarett.
You know, if you just notice it, you look at the defense and you see the whole change in Sacramento's defense because Ferguson is in the game.
Ferguson out wide to the left. Hall in the slot. Back to pass, Garcia. Stepping up and short hops that one to Putzier.
Well, he wasn't really intending to throw the ball to Putzier. He was just he was looking downfield. He had 2 wide receivers, Hall and Ferguson, going down. And then at the last second, because he didn't have any more time, he saw Putzier go out to the outside and he tried to sidearm it to him, and the ball just went in the dirt.
And this ball brings up another 3rd down. Omaha 3 for 10 on the night in these situations.
Timeout, Omaha.
Yeah, they look confused there. Hopkins was moving around. Everybody was moving, looking to see what's happening. We'll see what happens with Jeff Garcia and the guys when we come back. It's 3rd and 4. Omaha on their own 26. They are 3 for 10 in 3rd down situations tonight, Paul. And we were all sitting around with Jagodzinski yesterday, and he was talking about these situations.
Yeah, he says, you know, the biggest problem is we're not doing anything on 1st down, and it puts you in those 3rd and long situations.
Garcia 4 for his last 12. Stops back, swings it out, little short pass that Darling is able to haul in, but is going to be well short of the 1st down. Taili is right there. And now they go 3 for 11 on 3rd down, and here once again comes Brantley to kick it away.
Well, a week ago, I think we brought this up. They were 2 out of 10 on 3rd downs, and it just really is a concern. But you know, when you get yourself into that position, 3rd and long, it's very, very hard.
Brantley, better this time. Taken by Woods. Woods spinning away and picking up a couple more yards. Aaron Woods, he is feisty. That punt going 40 yards.
Welcome back to Omaha. 10:05 to play in the 4th quarter. Sacramento leading 17-12. I'm joined now by the general manager of the new Virginia franchise, which will begin play in the UFL next year, former Super Bowl champion with the Washington Redskins, Doug Williams. In the heart of Redskin country next year, how many notes are you taking with the new franchise here in Omaha and the 2 full houses they have?
Number one, you know, when you drive up to Rosenblatt, you can take all the notes you want in your mind. I mean, just to see the excitement of this crowd and looking at the merchandise, everybody got on a T-shirt, sweatshirt. I think they've done it right here in Omaha, and the fans have really wrapped their arms around this organization.
Short time we have. No name yet for your team, but there's a contest. Where does that stand?
Well, actually, starting Monday, we supposed to at least narrow the 3 mascot down to 3, and we should come up with a name, whether or not it's going to be Virginia or Hampton Roads.
All right, we'll look forward to seeing what happens, and thank you for the time. Good luck there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Kenny, if nothing...
There's a good guy, man.
Yeah,
he really is a good guy. Yeah, he was a hell of a player.
1st and 10 at the 42. And that tells the story right there. Omaha pretty much shut down, and now everything's going really well for California. Up until then, a little slip there. As Baylor carries, a flag is thrown. Remember,
before the snap, false start, 75 offense, 5-yard penalty.
That's going against Sam Lightbody. Remember, Corey Ross was shaken up, and from what we understand, he is out for the rest of the game. So now it's going to be on Baylark, and John David Washington in that backfield for Sacramento. Penalties. Omaha well in the lead there, much to the chagrin, I would imagine, of Jeff Jagosinski.
Set the game clock to 10:05.
Let's take a look back, Paul, at Corey Ross earlier on in the third quarter.
Well, this is just a quick draw to Corey Ross, and he goes up the middle, and man, he gets hammered by Rouse coming up.
And there you see Ross again. From what we understand, he's out for the rest of the game.
He got dinged in the head.
That penalty makes it 1st and 15, back to the 37. Culpepper sets, fires, has his man in Biddle, who caught the touchdown the last time, and grabbing him around the ankles there is DeMarcus Fagans.
You know, you look at teams that don't panic, and Denny Green is not going to let this team panic, and neither is Culpepper. What they did is they had a 5-yard penalty for a false start. Well, they got 6 yards back. Now it's 2nd down and 9. I mean, or 8. They got 7 yards back. But this is what you do. You don't try to get it all back at one time. You've got the lead, you've got the ball, and you got the clock moving.
And you got a 3-time All-Pro quarterback who thrives in situations like this. Culpepper setting up. Pressure on. He was hit from behind, and that was Josh Savage, who already has a sack tonight, reaching his big paw up there to get a piece of Culpepper.
Well, Josh Savage and the rest of the defense, they realize that they got to do the bulk of the work now because they're not getting any help from the offense. But look at Savage. That's just a great reach into the inside. He gets around Lightbody. Lightbody's been having some problems with him tonight.
So now it's 3rd and 8. Sacramento 6 for 14 on 3rd down conversions. Culpepper pressure. Throwing, it might have been deflected. He had West out there in the open. And I think Savage got a piece of it again.
In the open? Let me tell you something.
He was gone.
West was 15 yards behind anybody on the defense. And here comes Savage again. That's Lightbody. He's not getting a piece of him. And it's a good thing he hit his arm because West would have been gone for a touchdown.
Williams fields the punt at his 18. Gets it back up across the 27. Huge defensive plays made. A 37-yard punt there by Savage. Wow, he's looked great in that series.
Oh, he does. And look, you can see Culpepper because he knew he had West. He knew he had touchdown. They just high-fived each other. He said, man, I saw you. I just couldn't get it to you. Because that man right there, number 93, Savage, hit him twice on the arm.
Savage, 6'4", 276 out of Utah. Played with the Tuskers last year. He was a draft pick of this team. Florida might wish they had him back after their 1-2 start. High backfield, Garcia sets, fires it over the middle and behind the intended receiver, Ferguson. Ferguson saying, where's that flag? Perhaps good coverage instead. Terrell Mays was there.
Well, look at this. Now, does he hook him with his arm? Ferguson's 89. Mays is number 25. Look at this play. And I'm going to tell you what. I think that's a clean defensive play. I really do. Because he had position on the inside. Mays had that spot taken. That was an excellent call by the official, or non-call.
Second and 10. Garcia goes down. And it was Shable coming in to record his 2nd sack of the season.
Well, Garcia had no one to throw the ball to. Watch, he pulls this ball down. Otherwise, that shoved it back into his face. He had no place to throw the football except an interception or throw it away, and he didn't have a chance to throw it away.
So it is 3rd and 18. What Jagosinski tell us yesterday, Paul, you have to be in positions on 1st down to keep moving, make short yard situations on 3rd down. 3rd and 18, throwing, stretching, making the catch, Ferguson, and he leans forward to get the 1st down.
He's the difference maker in this football team. They can't run the ball, they can't throw the ball unless he's in the game. And I love it. He's got white gloves on so that Garcia can see his target. He said, well, when I put these hands up, throw it.
A huge play.
Watch the throw. Watch the throw. The throw is perfect. Look at Ferguson, though. He takes a shot, and it doesn't matter. That's by a linebacker that nailed him, but he holds on to the football.
3rd and 18. They get 19. Garcia hits Ferguson.
And that was Moreno that hit him.
Mark that down as a huge play tonight. Amon Green on the carry there. That's only the 4th time they converted tonight on 3rd down. And Ferguson with over 100 yards on the night receiving. Maurice Clarett comes back in on 2nd and 8. The ball up to the 39-yard line. Maybe Garcia and Ferguson getting that magic going once again. Play action. Garcia firing, crossing, making the catch out of the backfield is Rendrick Taylor. Taylor, the fullback, who once upon a time was a wide receiver at Clemson. That was about 60 pounds ago.
Well, you watch him catch the ball with his hands.
Oh, he's got great hands.
He's got great hands coming out, and he caught a touchdown pass last week in this game, but, you know, when your quarterback is not afraid to throw the ball to your fullback because he does have good hands, that's just an added bonus for him.
He picks up 5 on that. Taylor is a brute at 260 pounds out of that fullback position. He's out. Clarett's back in. Brewer in as well. Garcia drops back, sets, throws, gets his first down completed, and then some. It's Ely taking it inside the 10, out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Byron Ely, 6'3" out of Houston, 48 yards, hauling in his first reception, and how huge was it?
Well, this is why you have Garcia. Garcia sees the entire field. And let me tell you something, Ely was not his primary target. Look at this, he sees him break, and watch this move. Now you're gonna see him step over. You think this is pretty good? Watch this move, bang. He's back to the outside, and almost gets the touchdown. But again, just saying it, it's his first reception in 2 games. Garcia's gonna find you if you're open, and that's experience in the quarterback.
Sendejo able to save the touchdown, running him down after the 48-yard completion.
5-yard penalty.
And you got a false start.
And a first and goal at the 8. Now move it back 5, another penalty.
I mean, it just amazes me. You know, Garcia is not the biggest of guys, folks. He's 6'1", and that may be stretching it just a little bit. But he'll stand in there. He knows where everybody is. That's the one thing he talked to us about. I know where everybody is supposed to be. Now the question is, are they getting there?
He's found 2 of those guys tonight. Brewer and Ely hadn't caught a pass until tonight. First and goal at the 13. He gets away and just unloads this. And it was Schable there once again with the pressure. He's already recorded a sack tonight. Brings up 2nd and goal.
Where you just, you know, when you sit back this far behind the deal, because we're not on the 50-yard line or near it, we're off to the side. But when you sit behind this thing and you see what Garcia is seeing, and he just has no one to throw the ball to. You see a glove on Garcia's left hand. In last week's game, when he ran the ball late in the game, he cut his finger, but that's not on his throwing hand.
Garcia 3 for 5, 73 yards in this drive. 2nd and goal at the 13. Garcia throwing incomplete. Going for Ferguson. Ronnie Prude was there. Prude, who's knocked down a couple tonight and has picked off one.
Remember I said double coverage on Ferguson? Well, watch where this ball's thrown and look at the white shirts that are back there. That is called double coverage, folks.
Prude there. Scott Ware, the free safety, coming over.
Yeah, he demands double coverage. Now you got to go someplace else.
3rd and goal at the 13.
And do you kick a field goal? Yes, you do. If you have to.
5:06 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Sacramento. That's their final timeout.
Sacramento uses up their last timeout with 5:06 to go here in this game. And a 17-12 lead for the visitors. The Mountain Lions taking over here as you look at Robert Ferguson, who has had a big night.
You know, Robert Ferguson is 6. When you look at him, he's 6'1", he plays like he's 6'5", but this guy is strong. And the thing about Ferguson is he holds on to the football, and he catches the ball with his hands. I mean, when you look at this guy, he's just a big target, and he knows where to go. And that's the one thing that Garcia said to us about the receivers. He said, I know where they're supposed to be, but some of the time, because they're new guys and we haven't really been together that long, they don't know where they're supposed to be. When a guy's supposed to run an in route at 12, he's got to be in an in route at 12 yards.
It's 3rd and goal. Garcia looking, now under pressure, throwing wide open, touchdown, Omaha! Putsier right there. Someone else, and the tight end, Jeff Pussier, moves right in there.
I just got done saying he knows where everybody is or where everybody is supposed to be. Now they're going to go for 2 to get this to a 3-point game.
4:59 to go. Garcia, they've been struggling. Then he completed that 3rd and 18 pass to Robert Ferguson, 19 yards, the first down. The drive continued. And now they've regained the lead, going for 2. Garcia looks, flips it. They've got 2. He hits Darling. A big drive, an important drive for Omaha. They have regained the lead. Jeff Garcia going to work. Putsier all alone. Back in front, Nighthawks by 3.
Omaha takes the lead thanks to a touchdown pass from Jeff Garcia to Jeff Putsier. Jeff, how did he get so open?
He wasn't open at the beginning, and then they just dropped coverage. Fortunately, was able to buy a little time, and had the guys stuck with him, we would have been in trouble. But Jeff kept working. Linebacker left him, and I just threw it where he can get it. Fortunately, we made a play.
Jeff, it seems like this offense has been stalled most of the game. Are they doing anything defensively that's confusing you guys?
I mean, they're doing a good job defensively, but it's been a frustrating afternoon, frustrating second half especially. We haven't been very good offensively. We need to work on some things and clear it all up. Fortunately, put a drive together. We need to help our defense out, but they've done a great job defensively. We just need to be better.
Jeff, thanks for the time. Kenny, Paul, back upstairs.
Thanks, Ron. Garcia, 4 for 7, 84 yards in that drive, capping it off with the touchdown as Woods takes it, gets it across the 30 to about the 32.
All right, Kenny, Putsier is on the end of the line. He's playing a tight end position. Here he is right here, right in here. Now watch, he's going to release and get himself, I can't get this, there it goes. You just watch him drift in the end zone. And Garcia knows he wasn't open then, as Garcia said. Now he's not open. But watch, the defenders, they come up short for Ferguson, and there's Putsier sitting back in the end zone all by himself. Ferguson bought the time and hit him with the pass. Whoa, was that a great play? Heads-up play by an all-pro quarterback.
And now can this all-pro quarterback counter as Culpepper comes on the attack quickly. The screen out to Biddle, and Biddle picks up about 7 yards. Hanging in there with him was Fagans, and Swigert comes up to finish it off and make the tackle.
You know what? When you get guys, watch this, they'll hold him up. Biddle, watch it, get him on the outside. Swigert's there, and Fagan, they just hold him up, and then they kind of come in and nail him with Swigert.
They pick up 5. It's 2nd and 5, ball out to the 37.
Sacramento, remember, they have no timeouts remaining in this game.
Their best running back out for the rest of this game. Flag thrown.
Full start, 62 offense, 5-yard penalty.
It's on Eric Robertson, the right guard.
Boy, here's, again, the things that just absolutely drive you nuts. You just see him rock back, The one thing is, when you get these guys settled, they're big guys. Robertson's 310 pounds. When you get them settled, you can't hold them there for a long period of time. You got to get the ball out.
2nd and 10. Culpepper sets, fires, it's complete. Still well short of the first down. Coakley comes in to make the hit on Woods. We've seen Woods carry the ball on kickoffs, returning kicks. First time we get a chance to see him catch it. And Denny Green was talking about finding him. He's a YouTube sensation, Paul, right? He said he sent in, and this guy's 5'5", 5'6". He can jump 40 inches, bench press 220 pounds. And
I love that. Denny Green said he could do all those things, but the other thing he could do really well is play football. And that's what they got him for.
Here it is, 3rd and 5. Incomplete. Going for John David Washington out of the backfield. And now Sacramento 6 out of 16 on 3rd down conversions.
Remember, they have no timeouts, and it's 4th down and 5. This is really the ball game.
This is. And they know it. Denny Green knows it. Culpepper knows it. Here they go. 4th and 5 from their own 37. Does Sacramento have some magic here on enemy territory? Another comeback, perhaps. Culpepper back, throwing, 1st down, out to the 40-yard line, stepping up and finding Joe West, cutting across the middle and making the catch before Lowry brings him down. 24 yards.
Look at this pass. This is absolutely beautiful. He's going to throw this baby over the middle. He waited on Joe West to get clear. Joe Swagger was there, number 20, but he didn't cover him long enough or got way behind him. I just like the throw. I love the catch.
Remember, West was open earlier when Savage was hitting Culpepper's arm. That was gigantic to keep the drive going. As you said, Paul, that was the game on the line at that stage. They get it up to the 40 and 1st down, and Culpepper under trouble and under pressure, and tries to move up and get out of the pocket and picks up a couple. Cato June coming in to harass.
Well, Cato June just came up and came blitzing up the middle. He was off the line of scrimmage. Cato June, Culpepper saw him fake the blitz. He stepped back. The whole offensive line opened up, and Cato June took a direct shot right at Culpepper.
A loss of 3, 2nd and 13. The 43. Culpepper steps up, throws it, Woods. Right there is Bryson. As we approach the 2-minute warning, and there it is. 2 minutes to go in the game. Omaha has the lead. Culpepper, does he have another last-second drive? The United Football League on HDNet is presented by Men's Wearhouse, the official men's retail clothing store of the United Football League. Men's Wearhouse, you're going to like the way you look. By AOL Fanhouse. For more information on the United Football League, go to fanhouse.com. By Progressive Insurance, making it easy to shop for car insurance. And welcome back. 2 minutes to go in the game. You're looking at Fabrizio Scazia, who had a 54-yard field goal last week that ties the league record. So he certainly has the leg. He is perfect on the season. We've seen him earlier with a very short field goal. But they don't need many more yards to get him in range as we approach 3rd and 7 at the 2-minute mark to go in this game. Ball is at the 37-yard line of Omaha. Culpepper and Sacramento on the attack. Dante flushed out, rolling. And throwing deep, end zone, broken up. Coakley was right there to make the play.
You know that this guy, I want to tell you something, folks. This guy just ran to his left on the run, threw the ball in the air over 50 yards. Watch this. It's the back of the end zone. Remember, there's 10 yards back there. Look at this throw, and it was on target.
Going for Windsor, Coakley at the last moment, knocking it away.
Don't ever question his arm. He just showed it to you.
Fabricio Scaccia comes in.
65-yarder. They going to ice him?
55-yard kick. And it is going to be no good. That was well within his range. At least that's what we've been told. A man of some legend in semi-pro ball of a 68-yard field goal once upon a time. And here he is from 55. Everything looks good except the finish.
At 55, this thing would have cleared. Look at how high this thing is. I mean, that thing, I said 65 because I can't add.
Well, he kicked at 65. It's just to the right.
65. It was a little bit to the right. He's got a leg on him. Well, he's actually got 2 legs on him.
So now, that is the ball game. 1:40 to go. No timeouts left for Sacramento. And the Nighthawks about to go 2-0. And as Jeff Jagodzinski was pointing out to us yesterday, he said, I'm telling my guys, think of these games basically as 2 games in 1. It's only an 8-game season. If you go 2-0, that's huge when you look at teams that are going to be 1-2, like Sacramento is headed for and like Florida is now.
I love the grit of this football team, both of these teams. Denny Green brought his team back and with Culpepper, and Garcia never got flustered. There were 4 series of downs in the second half, and he said to Ronnie on the sideline, he said, you know, we really kind of stunk it up in the second half, but they didn't do anything. But did he get down? No. He's that kind of kid. He's that fighter. He's an all-pro player, and I just like what these coaches have done with these 2 teams.
Next week, we will be in Las Vegas to watch these Nighthawks as they play their first road game. Sacramento getting a needed bye week after playing their 2nd game on the road, their 3rd game overall. And the appreciation by the sellout crowd here at Rosenblatt. Their Nighthawks have gone to 2-0. Not a last-second comeback, but a comeback nonetheless for Jeff Garcia, as he was able to find Jeff Poutier open in the end zone, and then the defense was able to hold, and it's a 20-17 victory for Omaha. They're going to get off to a 2-0 start, the only undefeated team in the UFL. And you know, the crowd here tonight, they have to love this, and they'll be wearing longer sweaters, big sweaters, the next time we come back here at the end of the month. But you can smell I think they're cooking out somewhere. I've been smelling beef. And you know, the meat out here in Omaha has really been tasty.
Well, you know, when you talk about these 2 teams, you just gotta love what they did. I mean, both of these teams stayed in this ball game, and it's easy sometimes when it's not going your way to kind of, you know, slack off a little bit. Not these guys.
Well, they've been partying. Like I say, they're cooking out down here in the parking lot. We can smell it. We can see the celebration. I imagine Jeff Jagodzinski's feeling pretty good right now. He's with Ron Kroc.
He sure is. Another 4th quarter comeback. The comeback kids do it again. Coach, you're making a habit out of dramatic victories.
Oh, just keep the fans coming back, I guess. But, you know, our guys played to the last second again, you know, and I told him it's going to take that in this league. It's too evenly matched for it not to be that way.
Last week it was the offense that drove down and got the late score. This time the defense held. They really, while your offense was struggling a little bit tonight, they really had a big game.
They did. Our offense did struggle a lot in the second half, especially, and our defense got a stop there. And we tell them it's always going to come down to a 2-minute drill, and it did again today.
Coach, you're the only undefeated team left in the UFL, and in an 8-game season, you got to love the position you're in now.
Well, yeah, I do, but every game is it's just a dogfight every time we play. So I think anything can happen.
Another sellout here. The support of this community has really rallied around this team. What does it mean to have these fans here in Omaha?
Well, it's Nebraska football. They get it. You know, when we said that the franchise is going to be in Omaha, I said that's a good thing because they'll know what's going on, and they sure do.
Coach, thanks for the time. We'll see you in Vegas.
Great. See ya.
Kenny, Paul, back upstairs.
All right, thanks, Ron. Robert Ferguson, huge part tonight. Think back to that 3rd and 18. He made a 19-yard grab. That kept that drive going, and eventually led to that open touchdown pass there to Putzier to give them the victory, Paul.
You know, the amazing thing, when he wasn't in the ball game, their whole offense just kind of shut down, and the defense, I like the way the defense adjusted. They went man-to-man on the outside, and because they knew that they could cover the outside guys one-on-one. As soon as Ferguson got back in the ball game, the whole atmosphere changed again. The offense was picked up again because they knew they have this guy out on the field. Man, I'll tell you what, he is the biggest difference maker that I've seen so far in this league.
We caught a glimpse, by the way, of number 20 for Sacramento, Corey Ross, set out the entire fourth quarter because of an injury. Big for them. Now standing by is the man that made the big plays tonight, Robert Ferguson with Ron.
Huge play, Kenny, no doubt about it. Robert Ferguson, on a night when the offense really stalled, you picked up your game. Talk about that 3rd and 18 play. That was really the key play of this game.
Well, that's the type of play you want to make, you know, considering yourself as a playmaker. And the huddle, I was motivating the guys by speech, by talking verbal, and I just wanted the opportunity to make a play. And thank God, you know, Jeff came to me on the backside, and I just told myself I wasn't going to be denied on getting us the first down to keep the ball moving. And the guys fed off that, and the ball just trickulated down the field.
What happened with the offense tonight? There were times where you guys looked like you were in sync, but for the most part, you were out of sync. Was it something the defense was doing?
No, not at all. I think it was just mainly pre-snap penalties. You know, we call those drive killers. And when you have pre-snap penalties, whether it's false start, a personal foul here or holding here, you know, those things just kill drives. You know, it's hard to call plays when it's 3rd and 18, when it's 2nd and 15. So if we just eliminate those pre-snap penalties, we'll be fine.
Another come-from-behind fourth-quarter victory for you. Is this going to be the way that the whole season goes? I know it wasn't the prettiest victory, but you'll take it.
We'll take the victory, but you know, I don't know if the fans can do this all year, so we're definitely going to try to fine-tune some things, clear some things that we got going on, you know, the pre-snap penalties. If we eliminate those, I think we'll be fine.
Robert, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, Kenny and Paul, back upstairs to you.
Thanks, Ron. A lot of penalties tonight for Omaha. They had only 2 last week. They had 11 tonight, almost 100 yards in penalties. It killed some drives for them early on, and I guess the most impressive thing, when everything seems to be falling apart, they get it back together and win.
Well, I think the big thing, too, is the 3rd down deal. 2 out of 10 last week, and, I mean, it was just awful again tonight. So this is the one thing that you have to correct. And the only way to correct that is the way that Ferguson said, or excuse me, Garcia said, and Jagodzinski said. We got to do better on 1st down. You know, I'm not worried about 3rd down. We should be in position we can use all of our plays if we do something on 1st down. They just didn't do it.
Some good running at times tonight for California. They actually got in a groove and appeared to be recovering, getting some of the running game back. And then Corey Ross gets injured, shaken up. He goes out late in the 3rd quarter, does not return to the game. That was a big setback for them, I thought.
It really is, because, you know, you got Dante Culpepper, and don't even question his arm, folks.
No.
If you watched him tonight, you know this guy can throw the football.
That last pass, the incomplete pass.
I mean, a 50-yard pass on the money, on the run, running to his left. He's a right-handed quarterback. Think about it. But I'm going to tell you what, they've got to get their running game going. If they don't get their running game going, they're going to be in a lot of trouble for the rest of the season.
There's some in trouble right now, aren't they? 1-2. Yeah. Florida's 1-2. Great position for Omaha now at 2-0 as they go on the road for the first time next week at Vegas, coming off that big win over the weekend at Florida. Now let's take a look back at the highlights in this game. And it starts here with
Dante Culpepper on this thing. He steps on the end line, but even if he hadn't, it would have been for grounding the ball. It would have been 2 points anyhow, because any penalty in the end zone constitutes a safety.
That made it 5-0. We wondered when the scoring was going to really start, and that's when it started, Paul. The last 2 minutes, Darling hauling that pass in from Garcia and going in, and then Culpepper.
Well, Dante Culpepper, I mean, he's electric, and when he's running with the football as big as he is, they get kind of worried about him, and so they come up on him, but then, you know, he'll make a play. But this play here to Putzier was just, I think this was Garcia, and it was Putzier not getting impatient, just sitting in the open area.
And then here it comes. This is Fabricio Scazia, who had a 54-yarder last week, going for a league record 55, and it had plenty of leg, but it was off to the right, and that was the game, because, again, Something else crucial, Sacramento used up all their timeouts about 4 minutes to go in the game, so they could not stop the clock the rest of the way.
Well, just take a look at the top one. The top one is a teller for both of these teams. They've got to find a way to run the football. You cannot depend on their arms all the time because it's going to get a lot colder here and a lot damper here, so they're going to have to be able to run the football, both teams.
Did you think you'd see a team with Amon Green in the backfield and that few yards tonight rushing?
Yeah, well, you know, that's something that you have to do with your offensive line. I mean, you got to remember now, these guys haven't played together. This is the first year together, so they haven't played together that much. There are no preseason games for these guys. So last week was their very first game. This was their second game. They'll get better at it, but they got to work on their running game, and I think that's the one that Jagosinski really wants to work on.
Garcia, we heard him talk how happy he was. And again, that comes with the experiences. We saw Culpepper make that great pass that was just broken up at the end. We saw the two guys didn't have maybe that great shootout everyone was expecting, but they made big plays and they were able to hang in there and keep their teams going when some things were getting rough for them tonight.
Well, the shootout kind of did happen, you know, because those are the two guys that really made things happen. They were. Yeah, they did. They got the ball in the air and they got it to the guys that were open. So, but I don't think that either one of these teams want to just depend on the arms of their quarterbacks for the rest of this season.
Now, as we saw, instead of that up and down the field, with this turn into a track meet that gets in the 40-35 range, it didn't turn into an Arena Football League game tonight, that's for sure.
No, and it was a very enjoyable game to watch. Great defense.
Oh, it was. Paul, a pleasure. Let's do it. Let's go to Vegas next week.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm in.
We're in Vegas next week, and thank you for being with us tonight here in Omaha. You've been watching the UFL on HD Night. Executive producer and producer of today's game is Daryl Ewald. Our director, Hank Lena. Pre-game show produced by Chris Taylor. Our remote engineering crew, Dan Neighbors, Jeff Carman, and Andy Miranda. Our technical director, Dan Stella, Mike Hytham, and Ruben on graphics. Josh, Doug, Lonnie, Bill, and Jarrett. Thanks to all our production managers, Jerry Cole and Chris Markwell. Join us next Saturday. We travel to Las Vegas. The Locos take on the unbeaten Nighthawks. Tune in 9:30 Eastern for the pregame. Kickoff at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. For Paul McGuire, Ron Kruk, and Paul Crane, I'm Kenny Rice, saying good night from Omaha, where the Nighthawks remain undefeated, winning 20-17.